I did not get him. So tonight we have with us Mr. Boston, and I take my time out to really inform the public that that's what transpired. Good evening to you, my good friend Hartly Adams.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's another Sunday, and I'm very happy to see that we have Mr. Boston in the house. So we will, talk to him, hear his point of view. We'll ask him questions. He'll deliberate. But very interestingly, I did some little research, and I found something that I found very interesting. The idea of government and politics being defined solely as the art and science of government, therefore became inadequate, and the number of subjects grew. So before we had this in political science, constitutional law, constitutional studies, political philosophy, to public opinion and voting behavior, political psychology, public administration, the study of political parties and interest groups, political economy, international relations, and comparative politics. So you have seen how it changes. So we are looking at not only in terms of the Constitution, the constitutional studies, but also different aspects have been added to political science. Now, it's very interesting. Quickly, I should just read that too, because a lot of people always ask, the Prime Minister has the constitutional right to appoint ministers of government, and in exercising that constitutional right, the Constitution puts no limits on the number of ministers the Prime Minister may choose. He may, if he chooses, make all members of the House of belonging to the majority party ministers of government, or otherwise members of the executive. Following from the second point, the Prime Minister has the authority to remove any minister by recommending to the President that they be removed. The Prime Minister has the right to determine each minister's responsibility. In determining the minister's responsibility, he can also change that responsibility to something else. The Prime Minister chairs all cabinet meetings. He also is in effect determining the agenda to bring about a dissolution of Parliament. If a majority reaches to remove the particular Prime Minister from the post of the Prime Minister, he has the power to either bow to the democratic wishes of the Parliament majority or force all members of Parliament to face the polls at a general election without being constitutionally bound to get Cabinet's agreement. I just thought I would just let you know the power of a Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. And also, too, before we go across to our guests, as we always do our chit chat, what do you find this week in terms of things that you would have heard?
Well, I heard about the case. I heard a good guilty verdict of Jonathan Lehrer and Robert Snyder, convicted for the murder of Daniel Langlo and Dominic Machad. I heard the decision was reached, which gives me the right to say that law is well here in Dominica. It was not skewed, because we got the impression from hearing different street vibes that it was going to be skewed in a particular direction. But we got a guilty verdict. So I just found that very interesting, that a guilty verdict was brought in the matter. Of course, the individuals have a right to appeal. I do not know whether they will appeal to the Eastern Caribbean Court. And then if they lose there, they may go to the Court of Appeal, which is the Caribbean Court of Appeal. So that's the matter. They were found guilty in the courts of Dominica, which many people felt would not have happened. It did happen. So that was big news.
Well, I do not know about the many people who felt that would not have happened, and I would like to find out why would they think so. The law is the law, and
well, most of the evidence was circumstantial evidence,
right? And you heard that very, very, very often from the state prosecutor, who indicated that very clearly. And also, too, on Wednesday evening, we saw a debate. It was not a debate, a discussion, more or less like a town hall discussion for people of the Roseau North constituency, where the three candidates who made themselves available were able to answer questions from the general public. What did you find of this discussion?
I found it very interesting. It was very civil, I must say, except for one individual. I thought he'd gone off, totally off, because when you come to a forum like that, you don't accuse anybody of any wrongdoing. You don't have the evidence. It's a matter for asking questions. And for a man of high intellect, I found he was rather out of order. I found that the people who were in charge of the discuss would have straightened him out, because they said that if anybody tried to embarrass anybody or make statements that were not politically correct or legally correct, they would have been asked to leave. And I thought a decision should have been taken to ask him to cease from that, or otherwise find him out of the place. That I found was unbecoming of the individual, and I would ask him dearly to apologize for his bad behavior. That is my view.
Thank you. Well, that's the chit chat that we would have had. It's already 21 minutes going on after the hour of 7 o'clock. I just want to say good evening to our guest in studio of Felix Henderson. Good evening to you, sir. Are you hearing us? Apparently he's not hearing us, so I'm going to come across to him in a while. Suspect he's not hearing us from where we are sitting, so let me ensure that everything is A-OK. I'll go across to ensure that it is done properly. All right, so let me just take some music in between time.
Nothing in the world sweeter than saltfish, English cod or local Bajan. It's sweeter than meat when you out to eat. All saltfish sweet. It's hard to take, but make no mistake, I want you to know, it's because it's extra sweet, it's smelling so.
Well, unfortunately for us, when I said I'm going to cross to Felix Henderson's studio, I think the guest wasn't sure of what I was speaking about. I just want to say good evening to you, sir.
Yes.
Good evening. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Red light to come on. All right, it's on now.
It's on now, right? Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Joseph and Mr. Adams.
Good evening, Mr. Boston. It's a pleasure having you. I mean, I noticed that you're here representing the Boston family as well.
As well.
Your spider was a very good friend of mine, you know.
That
so
I know.
So it's a pleasure having you in the house.
Me have you and Mr. Joseph. Well, me and Mr. Joseph go back way back. But I want to ask you, Mr. Joseph.
Hold on. We're going to have a civilized conversation, a very friendly conversation. And for us to do that, we have to remove that Mr. Joseph.
Because I want to ask if I can call Brains.
So you can say Brain, you can say Cecil.
Cecil.
Yeah, that's how we are.
Yes, so we are.
Right, you can say that too.
Yeah.
You're homeboy. You know.
We are all homeboy.
I mean, I in the studio. What you call it? Gordon Henderson Studio.
No, that is Felix Henderson Studio.
Felix Henderson Studio, sorry.
Yes.
It's a privilege. You play so nice and, you know, homey. Everything blessed, you know.
Thank you.
Good evening to your listeners, particularly those of Roseau North, Dominica, and by extension, Dominican, worldwide. Even on Mars, I think we have a little feed up there because, you know, already everybody listening now with social media.
All right. And I just wanted to turn your bottle a little bit, please, because we have no advertisers. Thank you very much. All right, so just want to.
Okay, sorry for that.
That's fine. I just want to say to you, sir, that I did appreciate the fact that when I called you on Friday, that you accepted my call and accepted the offer immediately, with no conditions.
Cecil, that would answer your call. To me, we were friends from long,
Right, that's correct.
from way back when.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certain times that I see in as I said in the discussion, a lot of us going with that political tribalism, and another thing I really want to be a part of. I mean, I was a member of the Labour Party, and I say member with emphasis because they are supporters and they are members, as you might know, Mr.
That's correct.
Mr. Joseph. So I was a member of the
Paying member.
paying
With
subscribe
card
member,
bearing
card
member.
holder. Okay, and as per that, as an elected councillor, as per the constitution of the Labour Party, I was part of the national executive.
You had the right to be a member of the executive. That's
Right.
correct, yes.
Nice. Because, I mean, I read the constitution to the best of my ability of the Labour Party. I think I supported the constitution of the Labour Party. The words of the Labour Party, all shall eat, especially that one. Okay? Like the mantra of the Labour Party. All shall eat. So, as a member of the Labour Party and a close friend, Mr. Joseph,
Cecil again, Cecil.
Cecil.
Yes.
Sorry, Cecil. I find it appalling that you would say that I took your call. Why would I take your call?
No. Don't take it to be too offensive. I didn't say it
Actually,
in
I
any
didn't
bad
take your
way.
call. I missed your call and I returned your call.
And you return
because
my
I'm
call.
busy.
That's correct. Yeah, that's
I am
correct.
busy.
Yeah, and what you normally do.
Right.
And I was saying in the situation that I found myself, as I said, that I needed you for the third week instead of the second week, but something happened or transpired, causing me to call you while you're here today.
On short notice.
On very short notice.
Very short notice.
As I said, it was at 4:45. 4:44, as a matter of fact.
As I say, I appreciate it. As I say, I did appreciate the discussion of the Dominica Business Forum. I appreciated the platform to be able to address my concerns, the constituency, and well, quite frankly, the time was short. 7 minutes and any question. But it was a lovely platform. I appreciate it. It gave me a chance to be out there because as in everything in politics in Dominica, I've learned that everything is against an independent candidate. I don't really know why, but even in the electoral office, because I've been making a few back and forth there, trying to get myself acquainted with everything that's going on. And like every single thing is just against an independent candidate. Even in my council elections, I participated in 4 of them. And what I've observed, each time, depending on the people contesting that election, I'll be given a different symbol. Each time, and we know the reason for the symbols. I don't want to sound derogatory or nothing, but if 3 years ago, I tell you, hey, foot for the bicycle and roll the bicycle, and I don't want to call nobody illiterate, but you know the circumstances we're facing in our society. And then, 3 years later, man come to vote for me, and I just go in and just vote for the bicycle, because the bicycle, and to vote for Sherman Boston. And it confusing, and I don't know why.
Let me help you. Let me just help you, because I too was a councillor, and I was a councillor from the year 1999 to the year 2013. So 2013, that was my last. 2013, yes. And so the point I'm trying to make to you is the local government election is expected to be an independent council election where people
I was reaching my point yet. I was reaching to my point.
Oh, okay, because I
was reaching to my point.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so the office will assign you a symbol.
Which office?
The
electoral office.
Electoral office.
Okay.
Assign your symbol. Okay. Then I contested 2022 general election. Then again, I was given another symbol. Well, actually, I have 4 symbols in my political career. But not suffice to say that the council election is independent, but it follows the very same electoral laws as a national election. Right? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. The very same process, the very same list, everything as a national election. So that's why I use the comparison. But with an independent candidate, especially in the general election and even in the council election is called at a particular time, then the package is given to you at a particular time, then you get your symbol. The onus is on you to actually inform the public of the election. Your symbol is used to strengthen your presence in that election. And the time they get to you is so short. Election is called, the date they get to you maybe in 2 weeks, you have to canvass a long list. And even in the general election, which I have observed, you will never get a symbol until nomination day. And to the general public, the correct terminology is that 3 potential candidates were heard on the platform of the forum, of the Dominica Business Forum platform. Because out of nomination day, any one of us can change. Any one of us. Okay, we saw it in between 2017 and 2019 with Miss Blanchard. Going up to the election, everybody thought she was the candidate. Last minute, you see the Labour Party shift to Mr. Isaac. So I just want us to use the correct terminology so people can understand. Okay, so it's potential candidates for the Rosenhof. But as an independent candidate, the Labour Party has their symbol, and the United Workers' Party, even the UPP, have their symbol. I go to the director of them for a symbol, I can't get a symbol. So inevitably, I cannot even really begin to campaign and show my presence with a flyer. Already, the financial thing kind of against the independent because it's solely on me and it's somebody come about to help me. Okay, so even in that, in the discussion, I want us to make people clear on these facts because certain people are actually going with the terminology we use and they are thinking like everything is set in stone, which is not true. So I would just appreciate we correct where we're supposed to correct. Like even in the confirmation process, a lot of people say, I'm going to confirm. You're going to apply to confirm, you're not going to confirm. But we keep on repeating it on the radio. Go out and confirm, but it's go out and apply to confirm. Then someone will ask, well, if I apply to confirm, who will actually approve or disapprove? But when we say go to confirm, we have the opinion that when we go to the center and we do whatever we do, we confirm, and that is not true. So let us try to enlighten our general public, enlighten society so we can have more constructive discussions and more constructive thinking. Okay, because if you just change that tweak a little word, the whole perspective of everything changes. All right.
Okay, thank you very much for that intervention in really helping not just those of us who are here today, but the general public in how you would have analyzed and to allow us to see it in the right way. And you're correct when you say that you are prospective candidates because you can decide not to run tomorrow. When you say you are a candidate, it's like you confirm the person is a candidate. And so I want to thank you very much so that
yes, but
even in the media,
not just me, even the candidates representing the political parties, they are not confirmed until nomination day. So it's not just me. All of the candidates,
and still even after nomination day, you still have a period that you can decline.
Withdraw.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Okay, but at present we are all potential candidates.
By the way, let me just add something there quickly. What is it that a person, when they're a potential candidate and they've already been set, they get the symbol? Is it $500 now, or will it be $1,000? What is it going to be? Well, I know the fees before was $500.
The electoral office informed me that the fees have been increased from $500 to $1,000, and I never showed the general public even aware of that. But I got that information from the desk at the electoral office that the fees have been increased.
Okay, so I don't think that's our purpose here this evening. I think thanks for the information you have given us. But I think we are here to deal with the Lakou program, where we talk with people of their Lakou life, and then we expand it and we go further in the interest that they are in, like we did last week with Ashma McDougall. And we are going to do the same with you, Sherman. All right, so let's just start the process. You are Sherman Boston?
Sherman Hartford Boston.
Sherman Hartford. That's a British name.
It's my father's name, so
Your father. All right.
You can call me a junior. But
Okay.
my middle name is my father's name.
Okay.
Name.
No,
Mr.
no.
Bruno, I know that. for
Yeah,
sure.
Hartford, I know him. Hartford.
Yeah. No. The way we do the program, and I think you'd have heard of the program before, is we give people an opportunity to tell us who they are, their parents, the schools that they went to, and from there we take it forward.
Okay, a little bio of me.
Background, yes.
Okay, well, again, my name is Sherman, Hartford, Boston. My father was a truck driver. A lot of people know him from Pottersville, Tarishpit, Hartford, Boston, well, basically from St. Joseph. My mother, an accountant by profession, Dorothy Bellot, presently working in the housing department. I come from a wide range of brothers and sisters. My father had a few kids. My father had 5 of us. I'm my middle child. She had 2 girls before me, 2 boys after me. Unfortunately, we lost our brother in 2010. So right presently, from my mother's side, it's 4 of us. From my father's side, well, it's a lot of kids. Brain do not know about that. Plenty kids. So, yeah, I mean, I come from a diverse background of builders, farmers. I have a sister who's a nurse. I have one living in America. She working in Wall Street, financial business. I have another one is a designer. I think I have one working on a radio station at Kyrie. Very good domino player for a girl. So, you know, it's a lot of us, a lot of children, Boston children, and then, well, I'm always up with my mother, so I'm always up my mother's side for 5 of us. You know, we come from a background when my mother was working in the public sector, so she got the chance to purchase a house in Simon Bolivar, Stock Farm, after a time of bouncing around. We lived in Newtown where I was born, then in Tarishpit, different place. But then she got through government housing program. Back then it was different to what we have now. But she purchased a house in Simon Bolivar. So I basically grew up there. We moved there in about 87 to present. Actually, now I purchased a house in Simon Bolivar about 11, 12 years ago. I have a business set up in Simon Bolivar. I went to St. Mary's Primary, to St. Mary's Academy, and then I studied mechanical and electrical engineering at the Dominica State College, now known as the Clifton Disciplinary Community College, now known as the Dominica State College, Technical Studies. I was offered a chance to go to Mexico to further my studies, but at the time, and the studies, the difficulties in financing, and the fact that you had to go up there based on the scholarship, you had to learn the language, you had to look for so much different things. They had a little water issue. So, in my own little personal opinion, I find it was just taking on a little too much one time. Still have to see with the education and learning another language, which I wasn't really too strong in. So, I don't just say like I refused, but I think destiny had another road for me. So, I stayed here. In 2009, I got introduced to politics by Mr. Julius Timothy.
Before we go into the politics, I think we need to go back a bit in reference to the schools that you went. You said you went to St. Mary's Primary.
St. Mary's Primary, yeah.
St. Mary's Primary.
And from there, I went to St. Mary's Academy.
Give us a walkthrough of your life going to St. Mary's Academy during that period. Maybe you were living in Newtown, as you said earlier on.
No. By that time, we had moved because we had in South Africa since 1987.
Okay.
And I entered St. Mary's Academy in 1994.
Okay.
1994 to 1999.
No, I'm talking about St. Mary's Primary.
St. Mary's Primary.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I had the chance of being taught, is the Catholic school, so, you know, different time. We had different brothers, Brother Philogen, Brother Wickham as the principals then. I think now we kind of a change now. So it was basically always a brother of the Catholic brothers, or the principal. I got taught like teachers like I can never forget Miss Remy, Sir James, Mr. Pascal.
Are you talking about Roseau Primary, or are you talking St. Mary's Primary? Or
St. Mary, but you asked me St. Mary's Primary.
Yes,
SMP,
that's I'm asking. SMP.
SMP, right.
Right.
Yes. So Pascal, you know, these are the people that shaped me to the person I am today. You know, I meet like Sir Pascal. I had a chance to meet Mr. James. Mr. James was a very stern teacher of mine, and I met him about 2 years back after a long while. The guy looking the same thing, I see outside there really different way. I remember the guy taught me in primary school, and I met him at Astor Fans. And the man, basically the very same person, nothing changed. You know, so he's been living overseas. So I met him. Miss Remy, off and on, I'll meet her. You know, Mrs. Seraphine, Miss Seraphine. But I didn't really see the one that teach me, but the other teacher, her sister taught me at St. Mary's Academy. So, you know, I mean, these are the people that and
I'm sure while going to Roseau Primary, St. Mary's Primary,
Yes,
like any other student, troublesome.
Well, I would say troublesome, not always focused. I mean, boys will be boys. I love football, love sports, love to go to the sea. So, you know, back then it would always be on the street, run your little car. That I went through that life, living in Simon Bolivar, the Savannah, which we lost, unfortunately, and the Grover field around it, right next to the prison. I raised up in all that. Even where the landfill is right now, we used to go there and play. When Paris, that was where Paris was taking out the sand. So we used to go there and play, go for a cardboard, and go on this huge mountain of sand and slide down. Check. We raised up with the boys in Stock Farm. So the Kawat thing was in it. We used to sell mangoes. I used to go around and for Christmas, I used to sell mangoes, sell kennip. I used to borrow my neighbor barrow, Mr. JB, near the road, and go and throw garbage for, you know, my neighbors in the community. You know, they'd give you a little stipend. It was like a work.
Even at that period while you were in SMP.
SMP.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been working from since young. I mean, my mother raised up 5 of us alone.
No, preparing for at the time it was called common entrance. Preparing for common entrance when you would have arrived in 7th grade.
Grade 7, right?
Yes, or grade 7. What was it like with you and your teachers and maybe your mother to ensure that, Sherman, yes, you have to go to St. Mary's Academy. Sherman, yes, you have to pass common entrance. How was that?
I never really experienced that. It's like, I don't know if you really observing the discussion Wednesday, like I have been blessed with a keen memory. I would just remember things, so I never had a time I had to be studying. I'll go to class, I'll pay attention, I'll retain information, and that was it. Actually, it was 8-1 till next day, 8-1, and from there, you know, you might have to go and look for a girl who blues. When you come out of school, you leave and you go. I mean, darkness. So after 10, if they don't catch you on time, you is from house to house. You know, we were up in Simon Bolivar. It was a very tight-knit community, not within our parents, but the young people in Simon Bolivar, but all the parents will accept us. So we raised up under people like Mr. Gifford Walsh, Mr. Clyde, Mr. Percy, Mr. Lutu John Baptist. Okay, well, Mr. Gifford will go rest his soul, passed away. Mr. Lutu John Baptist, Algan and Bellot, the family of mine. That people raised up on. So all of the houses that had young boys would accept us like their very own. So, you know, we raised up in that kind of a unity as young men raising up in Simon Bolivar. So we'd just be liming. We'd go, there's the livestock farm high up. We'd be going up there and pick mangoes, pick plum, pick kennip. We'd go up there. They had the American bull where there's breeding bulls. We'd go there and trouble it. It would reach up, and sometimes they even break the fence gate. So they had to bolt it down and chase us. You know, we'd raise up on the pig, in the pig section by the goats. We raise up on livestock, even if in stock farm in the urban area. But we raise up in stock farm like it was up in, for lack of a better term, up in countryside, in a rural area. Because at that time, that whole stock farm was a lot of trees, a lot of greenery, even yam peas. I actually saw yam peas develop what it is today. I can remember when you reach around by Broad there, that's where the road was stopping. And all inside there was garden and bush and farm, and fellas have their livestock inside there. Inside yam peas, I saw yam peas develop, you know, from an early age. Okay, I saw people come from different areas. I saw the urbanization of yam peas. Because right now, like a very clustered community. But I saw all that come to life as a resident of Simon Bolivar. So it was a nice journey, although in town, but it was still like in a rural area. So we had all the animals, the trees. You know, growing up, we even make garden. Okay, I don't know if I can go and talk about it because when I can say it now.
Yeah, go ahead.
As young boys, back then it was thing. We go high up in the heights of Bellevue. We found the old grown up Rasta man, and we plant a little weed, like in countryside. Today you can plant weed, but we go up there, boys in Stockholm, and you know, freeing up. So my path of life was always a down to earth one. We go for everything. I mean, Tarry Street right there, Gotha right there, raised up there from walking from school to home. We'd always pass through those communities. You know, and then we had the Savannah right there. So plenty of people have always Zebian Sports Club was basically from Stock Farm. So we were introduced to football early, cricket on that Savannah. I mean, I watch the youths now. They don't really have those opportunities now, but we were up there. It was good in Stock Farm.
Now, I'm sure as a boy raising up, going to school at SMP, that there would be friends that may be still friends with you today. What would make you admire them for them to be your friends or friends today?
But I tell you, we're always tight knit. I'm
talking about those outside of those at Simon Bolivar.
Simon Bolivar.
Those you would have met, you know, in school.
But
that would have lived them in Newtown and maybe Central Roseau.
In those days, Cecil, it was different, like what we see now. We were friends, Newtown, through sports, through the the Lime, River Lime, Sequoia, Kenfield. You know, so we'd all come together and go places and do things. We don't see that with children of today. Okay, but that is how we raised up with being Newtown. I mean, I with some boys and them now. People live now from Newtown, but I actually was born in Cornwall Street. And then we move on to Tarry Street. Okay, so we still remain friends through sports, even now through work. Most of the people I around is people I raised up with. That I always maintain that we are the engines now. But for some reason, we don't get in the respect and the chance due to us. But we have been there together from since way back when until now. And we should be setting the example, stepping forward. And as I say, we're not being afforded that chance to take the mantle to hand on to the next generation. And then, so to me, all that created a gap. But we are more tightly knit back then. And all now we still tightly. I mean, along the way, you'll all get like people you fight with, like an enemy. But it was just that time passed, and then after, fellas come back together. So it wasn't free of problems and the basically troubles between man and man, but it was more unified back then. Nothing never really stayed to keep us away from each other. With Lime Carnival, everything. Christmas we go down in Roseau, your little money, have your little money, and you know go and buy your pizza, your thing, your capsule, go on and play in town by your bandits. So it was just like back then. It was just. In comparison to now, it was way more unifying. You know, you could more build a strength with your people as a people.
Then you went to St. Mary's Academy. What was the life like in St. Mary's Academy?
Well, it was more strict with Brother Jermaine, but it was still the same thing. At that point there, the Lime continued. Most of the guys went from St. Mary's Primary to St. Mary's Academy. We got a new further along the way. Some of the guys went to SMP, GSB, you know, because we had that common entrance, that merit system. So everybody got the chance back to go to school. But still after that, we'd still continue to congregate, to meet up, to play football. All I look at the state house there, the amount of football we play in that state house, right there. We used to be there after school, SMA, is go home fast. And then when you come back down for 3:30, everybody come down. When you're there, have like a 30, 40 fellas, 2 teams, and we just playing ball on that whole government grounds, you know. I mean, for years, we raised up there and that. I see there right now is security. It was always the government grounds, but it was kind of a government grounds, kind of basically abandoned. So there was that area was a congregating area for young men around the time. You know, so we had people like Brother Jermaine, very strict.
What in Brother Jermaine you felt that was very strict of him?
No, well, I mean, at the time, you know, a young boy want to free up himself and whatever. Brother Jermaine passed, everybody had to put themselves straight. We used to call him Fox. When you hear Fox come in, everybody had to put themselves like a straight jacket. Fix yourself. And he'd come by your class, he'd slide by the classroom, pull up in the window, and watch you. He watching you, watching everything. Then when you see somebody doing a disturbance, you at the back of your gear, you can knock on the glass. And you just see that, come to the office, go by the next class, And by the end of it, he'll have a gang of fellas. In that time, it had caning in school. Brother Jimmy had a rubber there and his licks on fellas. I can say I do get licks. I mean, I was one of the troublesome boys. I get good licks in SMA from Brother Jimmy, but I can say it was worth it. At that point in time, it had little fellas outbursts. You get in your cane, you want to fellas have to rebel, even want to fight with Brother Jimmy, but at the end of the day, the schooling structure, the system, it was good. I still had the tenureship of Mr. Sorrento. I went to school with Mr. Sorrento, the principal. Mr. Rupert Sorrento. Mr. Christian Sorrento was the ex-president.
Yeah, so Rupert,
Rupert
yes.
Sorrento, right.
Yeah, Rupert.
So I learned under his tenureship at St. Mary's Academy also. At that time, they had moved away from the brothers because I was a brother, and after Brother Jimmy, we had Mr. Sorrento. Sir Elwin, I also Sir Elwin was also the principal, I think maybe my last year at St. Mary's Academy. But in my time, my fight at SMA was Brother Jimmy, Mr. Sorrento, and Mr. Cobert Elwin. Mr. Cobert Elwin was my teacher, God rest his soul, my English teacher. And a strict guy, very strict, but I mean, when you grow up, when you're younger, you just think like, it kind of, you can't build up a defense against these people, but then when you grow up, you see that mold you and shape into the person you'll be today. Okay? I mean, I miss in teachers like Mr. Elwin, I miss in principal like Brother Jimmy, because the way I see the youths and them going there, nobody do, put in their foot down and say, well, just want to, there's something happening wrong for education system. Because I sure I can attest to that in how it was before and how it is now. So, but just people missing the education system, but we all get a chance to hand down. Right now, what you're seeing in the school, and you're saying that it's everybody, but certain teachers not there for their job. But back then, you had more teachers that was reinforcing you to bring you up to be a man for tomorrow.
What house were you?
What house was I?
Yeah, what house you were in?
I didn't read it again. St. Michael.
In St. Michael's?
St. Michael.
I was in St. George's.
Yeah.
My rival, in my days, my rival house was St. Michael's.
Yeah, I play football with SMA under 14, under 16, under 19. I had a chance when I was very young to even have to hold the goal in under 19 because I was the substitute goalkeeper. I was playing under 13. Okay, I play with people like Mr. Gifford Walsh again, Jr., Tyrone Payne, ex-then goalkeeper, Romel Tavernier. Those are the bigger guys there. And then I had a chance to win the goal with them. The goalkeeper, Mr. Pinot, injured. And me and like a Boston coming in with his big baggy jersey.
Who was the goalkeeper?
Tyrone Payne.
Oh, okay.
He was the goalkeeper and he got injured. And like my debut under 19. I played under 13, but I substituted for under 19. And get a chance to hold the goal for them big boys. So it was fun. I played basketball, like the people of Sir Charles. I mean, he said everything. Sir Charles was a sports teacher.
No, from there, you said that you moved to the Clifton Dupini
Community College. Technical
part, technical wing. Where was the location of that at the time?
Up in Stock Farm.
Up in Stock Farm.
But actually it was funny. I actually applied to what we call it C4 the academic section of Clifton Dupini Community College, which was located at
the Windsor Park.
Yes.
Grammar School ground.
Technical
wing,
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I applied to them, but I tried to apply. At that time, your boy Rasta Viola, Joseph SMA, his leather sandals, tam on head. And actually, I cannot point to the exact secretary, but she told me, no, that's good enough for you. So she refused me a registration form. I don't think I'm once I leave and I go up to a technical wing, and I just chose mechanical and electrical engineering because after the courses, the top course was BCE 1 year, and the next year will be ME. BCE was going to the second year, so I couldn't enroll in BCE. So I enrolled in the next top course, which was ME, with no background of what it was or nothing, But I decided the top course, I enrolled, and then I got accepted. And then I met up with the accounts teacher from C4. So I explained to her my situation. And she said, no, that's not right. So she went to Mr. Volney, at the time, and then they review the situation, and then once I accept it and go into the technical studies, I got accepted to go to, and that time they had just moved up, because my first year, I was the first year when they had the technical studies, the academic studies in Stock Farm. Remember they had done that new wing?
Yes.
So they was at Stock Farm at that time. So both schools was up there when I went to school. The first time they had the academic. So I got accepted maybe around a month and a half, 2 months into the school year. At the same time, I got accepted in the academic, because I wanted to do the academic. I did business in school and accounting, and then I live with my mother. My mother is an accountant. So I just wanted to just go in the field based on, the family lineage. And then at that time when they accept me in the academic section, I also found out that I was the class scholarship for the ME class, because every year government awarded a scholarship to each of the courses. And at the very same time, I got accepted into what I really wanted to do, into the accounts. I found out that I was the class scholarship for ME. And then I had a tough choice to make, and then I just said, no, right, they're ready. So I just continue with the ME program. And I guess that was the journey, because once at the college in 2000, when they were doing the netball stadium, I got a job on that project to do the lighting of the site, because they were working 24 hours. So I even got my teacher at the time, electricals, to go and work, like I say for me, but technically it was for me, because my job with me on that project, and we light up that entire place so they could work the 24 hours, because there was kind of a behind schedule for the tournament, because that place was built for a tournament, regional netball tournament, So at the college, although I got the chance to do the business aspect, the accounts, at the time, which Destiny would have chosen for me, I just stay on with ME. So then I got my associate degree in mechanical and electrical engineering at the Dominican State College. Because what they had offering was equivalent to the associate degree in, because we were doing city and guilds examinations, and they made the correlation with, it was equivalent to an associate degree. I mean, that was they told us at the college, at the institution.
What year was that?
1999 to 2001.
Okay.
I went to college.
Okay.
In my second year, I actually elected the president of the student council, or then the vice president. So we just kind of switch roles. I remained the vice president, because the president always be there in front for the the appearance of it. So it was a young lady, we were the same class, Terry Ann. I can't really put my name, I don't say her name wrong now, but Terry Ann, a young girl from Benjamin Lane, went to school together. So at that time,
Wilson?
Excuse me?
Wilson?
Terry Ann, I don't want to say the wrong name now. Let us go with Terry Ann, because he's my good friend. I don't want to give her a wrong name for her. Okay. So yeah, so she was the president. We switched roles. I was actually elected president and she vice, but I didn't want she be the president and I'll be the vice. She have the better image for that role and everything. So anyway, within my tenure, we did a bar. We got a chance to do a bar for the college student council at the World Creole Music Festival. And well, then there, my responsibility, I step off with my responsibility. I organize that bar, and we made a nice profit. Okay, we had a big party after, and myself and Terry Ann, we went to go when we purchased ceiling fans for the entire campus up in Guadeloupe. I mean, that money we made, we raised in the bar. And we stayed up there for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So even there, in the business aspect, in the organization aspect, I see that role was in me. I mean, I was really looking for it. So from after that, I made that bad year. I advised my mother to buy that a good little venture. So from there, my mother started to make the bar the next year. And we had a bar, the Creole Festival, until she finished in 2008. And then I take over the bar for my personal self, come back to 2016. So I almost every other bar at the Creole Festival. I even sponsored for my business. I had the chance to work with Marva as in different aspects of her career. Marva Williams and Marilyn and Jackie, you know. So we were close knit, you know, with the DFC at that point. You know,
and that was the period when you talk about the State College when so many students would have sat the CXC, and so many would have entered and some of them would not have been able to enter. That was the period.
And there's still, as I explained to you, the kind of a prejudice based on your appearance. It wasn't the best thing, but I mean, from my experience, I experienced it. Based on your appearance, I was just refused. Yeah, but at that time,
when you talk about your parents, where you came from, your hairdo, your lifestyle.
I feel my attire, my leather sandals, my joggings. I even had a cane at that time working. Moses cane, I had my cane covered for nice hardwood. So I think it was my appearance. But I mean, I don't go in and falter for that. It wasn't the best thing she did. But at that time, young man, his Rasta vibes, my hair, I always had my afro. You know, we used to party down with the Mavs book when we go into SME. Party down, I see the Mavs book, so you have your long hair. When you stretch that all over there, check. When you come to school, because so when you comb that out, you just take your Mavs book and just pat down. You know, kinky here, and that just compresses nice on your head, and you can have a nice short hair green on your head. So these guys over here in that time. But by that time, after the summertime, when it come for thing, you know, all that time young boys on the I still wouldn't say, well, rebelling, because look me to the sit down there if you have locks on my head. You know? But it was that lineage in SMA. A group of us used to study Bible, study African books. You know, so we developed within St. Mary's Academy, although it was a Catholic school, we still developed the intuition to seek the knowledge, religious knowledge or morality. So we had a nice group of us. A lot of books was at our disposal, you know, of SMA library. A lot of different books, religious books, historical books. So we had a group of us, Roy Barnes, Errol Bozel, Wafer, Jabari Pringle, you know, and we be together, we studying books, Rasta, history of marijuana, history of Africa. We see how the religious book there, making the correlation with our history and, you know, our roots. Because I mean, most of us come from ghetto areas. We see Rasta people, Rasta vibes, Granby, St. Joe. You know, back then it was, you know, those were the top communities. The unity of those communities was always spoke about, and it was always like St. Joe like a Rasta community, and Granby was a Rasta community, and this always that unity. You know, you can't go and trespass down there because everybody together. So we raised up in that together some of these communities and the Rasta. So we start to just investigate, and you know, I mean, boys will be boys at that age. You know, most boys become Rasta or gangster, but
and you were never influenced to become a Rasta?
I'm a Rasta.
Yeah, but look his hair.
No, your hair doesn't say that you're a Rasta, you know?
No, I know.
All right.
I don't admit. Since
eating meat doesn't mean you're a Rasta. I don't eat meat, but I don't consider myself a Rasta.
You may be a Rasta, your locks just growing inside, you don't know. And you feel so distracted, all kind of different things. So you or maybe that in you, and maybe you just refuse to just make it your personality because you rather other things.
It only takes Dante to say that.
You don't have to be dread to be Rasta.
You don't have to be dread to be Rasta. Morgan say it. I can remind it his slogan. You know, some of us locks growing outside, some of our locks growing inside.
So by old growing inside.
Inside.
It takes Dante to say that.
Dante. Yes, I says. But don't my mother he calling me Dante. That come shame, man.
By the way, how did you get that name Dante?
Well, it's my babysitter, Noreen, in Bowslin. Yeah, she lives and every time my mother with me, oh look my Dante man, Rich, look my Dante man. And you know, fellas hear that and fellas just make into Dante man, just make Dante for short.
Okay.
But it's my babysitter. Back then, a lady I was so dear to my heart and seen her quite some time. You know, I know her mother passed away. So I raised up around them, my mother, my fancy in Tarish Pit. You know, so it's this people I raise up around. Okay? So she's to come here a Dante man, as a Dante man. Bryn must know her. Bring, you must know Noreen.
Yeah, I know Noreen, man.
You must know Noreen. Lovely lady.
Lovely lady.
Very, very lovely. People that just, he just had love before. He says, I raised up around so much love, so much unity and togetherness. You know, I live in Stock Farm, Tarish Pit, you know, Yam Peace, Gota Village, Fokuli. This place was just like one, it was never like, people had a whole misunderstanding of those areas. But I grew to realize that the unity in man, as if that was what that was on attack, when they were calling those places Ghetto and Slum, and like, you know, from the police aspect and the system aspect, where I look down on these communities, and look at how these communities have grown today. But in a long time, but if you live in these areas there, it had the track, the 100 steps. Most time you'd cross the river, hit the 100 step by the hospital, shoot across to McIntyre Lane there, passing the little cool water there, go down Gota, by where Clem had the upholstery shop, a woodwork shop there, and Clem was doing his seeds there, in that little corner by James Gregor family right there. Pass there and go in the little cool water there and end up in Gota. From there you go up in the cool water by Jesse and them there and hit the steps, Tarish Pit, and then you could either take the back track and end up, well, there's road now, you'd end up by the public convenience, because there was a track, I know all there was a track. Or you could pass in the front track and end up in the beginning of Simon Bolivar. So depending on what time, at whatever that your young mind tell you, sometimes we'd have hit all the side go and come up right inside the Ampis. Coming out school, you know, for school uniform. Or if we change the track, we pass by parking shed, go and get grapefruit. You know, those things is what I can remember from my past.
Seldomly making the main road your avenue to get home.
To get home, yeah. You know, if you go in parking shed, we'll make the main road. But if you want to reach home fast, to go and play or anything, we have our back track on them. You know, it had that little track where, you know, right now there's big main road there in the area by opposite the bridge. That bridge is the Link Road Bridge.
Yes.
So I remember Friendship Bridge is the one by the market.
By the market, yes. And the Link Road is by the stadium.
By the Link Road Bridge. But I remember they have a little dirt road, garage inside there, and the
steps climbing up.
The 100 steps there in the end to go up to reach at the top of exactly where the
I don't think you were born then when there was these houses on the riverbank. Kwaku used to be living there.
Yeah,
he was born then.
He used to
when Mr. Jules was making his wrongs, taking people's names. At that time I was squatting in a partner of mine house there, you know. But I don't give me not Mr. Jules, Mr.
Boston,
Jones.
you old man.
I old. That's all making man with their life. So fast I pass, that's why I'm making my stance now, because when I check the good time again, I don't have all that energy. So I want to use my energy to contribute to society.
Yeah.
You check it, all these things there. But yeah, I was there in that time.
Well, you were squatting in one of the houses by the
yeah, man, my
riverbank.
Girlfriend, I know to go and sleep, go and sleep. So the partner, they had relocated some people, although they're still in them same areas. Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. But when Mr. Jones, I don't want to make a mistake, that Mr. Jones and Mr. Jules. Mr. Jules was the
Mr. Jules was the boss, I think. No, Jones was the boss. And you had Jules.
Right. And then
Hilarion Jules.
Then Jules succeeded Jones.
Right.
So initially it was Mr. Jones.
Yeah. Right.
At first taking the names for the relocation, for the apartments you see at River Breeze, because these people were the one that was initially had to go to River Breeze based on from the housing perspective. Because they used to pass around and tell the relocation, move everybody. There are people that live in all in Boys Avenue, all know, all in that area by the Trafalgar bus stop. Like people that were living there, you know. I mean, I know that community. So if you want to call me an old man, no problem.
so in other words, you remember the great Max Stanning Labad?
Yes, Labad, and you check? Yeah. Ricky Tavi had a little house there. Yes. You know the area when the big wall was ending right there, and then you enter in the little dirt road. Inside it had a garage here fixing transport, doing little body work.
And never in your time that you think that the link road would have been built like this. No one ever spoke of that.
Well, I was actually there, as I tell you, when Mr. Jones was making his, because he was talking about the project. But you know, in this time, there were a lot of things have been talked about, especially from a political aspect, and then it just fades away. But that one, they actually materialized. So I was there in the groundwork of that project. Today I can look at it and see, but I can remember how there was, and that project really materialized.
So you'll be one of the people that would have crossed the river from Roseau?
Cross the river from Roseau, right? That them steps in them walls going down.
That's correct.
Different areas, right? And come across the river.
To watch your football or what?
Yeah,
No, to go by his girlfriend. That's why he said he was actually squatting there, you know.
No, I was squatting there. Well, like the owner of the house, he was relocated to Boys Avenue. So he just...
Leave the house for you.
Yeah. So I could just stay there. Check. Original Tavi.
No, in people your age and my age and Brain's age, church was another place for us. Outside of education, our parents ensured our spiritual life was important. What about you growing up?
Well, I grew up as a Catholic. Going to the parish hall, first communion, confirmation. As I say, I go to St. Mary's Academy. Always interested in the religious aspect because, as you see, so we grew up. You must go to church on Sunday. That would mean you was attending church. We used to go by Ghana, rent bicycle, go and ride, buy ice pop, go lower down by Mr. Blah, like the bakery there, buy 25 cents bread and 10 cents bread. When I see the evil from 10 cents to 25 cents bread, you know. And you dime bread, I never see that one.
You mean you're talking
10 cents bread. So we have to take the little money to put in the collection and ice pop by Ghana, by Mr. Ghana there, or go and buy bread, rent bicycle and go and ride around the court, you know, and send us to church. But I mean, the church was, going to church was all the aspect of Sunday, you know, Sunday is your nice breakfast, your eggs, your sausage, your cucumber salad, your vibes. In Dominica was one day in the week you had nice breakfast. Well, from where I come out, Sunday was always a healthy breakfast. Have a little fashion from Saturday and have a nice plate. Because in the week, boy, you might dry bread or bread and oil. I go to school raised up on bread and oil. I always tell people that my mother was always a hard-working lady. So me and my two sisters used to be home alone a lot. My mother didn't have time to cook for us because she was working. So we had to cook our little pura. By our neighbor in Simon Bolivar, John Farrell, we'd buy our little pound of flour. When they had $2, half pound lentils, they had $2. They have a food, you know. Okay, we need the flour, big the thing. We take half of the flour, we wash it, take out the starch in it under the running water. And then when you drop that in the pot and you cook, you get in a sensation like it's meat. Vegan meat. We make vegan meat and dumpling and flour. And if you a good time, you get a little fig by a neighbor, or we get a little potato. But we always do cook our little pura. But my mother was basically like a block. Always cooking food because my mother was working hard and she never really there. Just that we used to just cook food in the lady place, and then after a lady come in the kitchen full of plates. After food cook and thing, everyone to go and play. It's Baba here. My sister Sabrina, she's always pay for it because she was the bookworm. She always inside, so she always get the short end of the stick because nobody is not there. She end up to washing the plates and doing things. But you know, we raised up in stock farm, always cooking food, making parties, making little different thing. Little dance class. You know, as I tell you, Mr. Dow, there was another area we used to just free up there.
Brenna, I like what Dante just said in reference to the experience that we have gathered from many other people that we spoke with or we chatted with in terms of the 25 cents that parents used to give to these children. And hear what Dante said?
He used some of it to...
No, all of it. Not some.
All of it.
Like Ghana ride bicycle.
And not just a gang of us.
Yeah.
It's by gang. When you rent the bicycle, Mr. Ghana is make a wrong, pass it out, make a wrong, because remember your dollar, you know, to rent the bicycle. So we have to group up the money. You have to get him plenty money. You check right there, you get 50 cents, you have to buy bread, buy ice pop. So we just gather the money together and just do what we're doing. I mean, the bicycle make a problem because, you know, when all we put 50 cents thing, we have to rent it for $1. We have to make 2 rounds around the basketball court. Then you have the basketball court in front of the St. Alphonsus Church.
Yeah.
There was a basketball court, and we'd be making our rounds around the court on bicycle. Because in them time, you know, bicycle you could afford them. Your parents, I mean, it was really green Grover season back then.
So that's after church?
After church, during church.
During church?
Yes. We used to be on the thing because I went to church in the new parish hall. But higher up, we had church higher up. I went to church there, you know, too. The church was inside where we have the meetings and things. And then we'd always be on the thing sliding down, on the railing. Well, they put big fencing and thing there. No, but it was railing, we'd be there playing. Then we just disappear because when you're in church, most time young boys go, when you come to church, you sit down for the minute, then maybe you fool somebody, say you want to go and use the toilet, and then you disappear, Bye-bye, everybody had their little plan back then. You check? But within the school and the church, I always had that moral standard instilled in me. Even in me today, as I tell you, Rasta is in the purest form of Christianity. We don't look at it as that. But Rasta is teaching you to appreciate the earth, appreciate what God have created for you. That's what Rasta is, you take Rasta is smoking marijuana and the big locks and, aggressive in the time of the late 1990, the revolution, we focus on them. We got a bad light from Rasta in the general public. But if you go along the study what Rasta is basically appreciating the earth, going back to the earth, going back to natural living. Okay? And even in that aspect, I don't even really, I'll drink a little bottle of water, but that water I have, that water I collect. I just use the bottle. You buy a bottle of water, so you collect a bottle. But I'll go Bells and collect my water, I want a bottle. You can call me a hoarder, but when you come by me, I want a bottle. When the empties, go Bells and collect water, or up Springfield, or La Plaine, Trafalgar. I don't trust the Trafalgar water now because of the geothermal. Because I took up there and then they have the well for the geothermal, they have a re-injection well. And I think that re-injection well there, we have to be that dangerous. Because you see the water that going back down in the earth, it'll be filtered in the earth in anything, but with the reaction. So in plenty aspects of our life, I think I was there in one way or the other. So I'm talking about the geothermal now. I was very close to the fellas when I was doing the drilling. I rented vehicles for them, so I had to be up there steady with them. So they used to explain me the project. I would ask questions. So I was up with them in the geothermal from, I would say, inception, because they do a lot of studies. But when the actual work began, I very close to those fellas there.
No, you said, because you were talking about church, in reference to going to church in that period, how did you see the church playing its role with the upbringing of children at that period?
Well, remember, I went to a Catholic school.
Yes, I'm talking about, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Catholic church, Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
So it have to be like one. It has certain things for you to go to the school. You have to be engaging. You have to be baptized. You have to do first communion. Okay, you have to do confirmation. That like part of your schooling. So it was all the things that automatic. You had to do Bible studies. We did religion in school. So we had the theory in school and the practical in every Sunday. Although we had time we had to go to mass, full school. We had the practical.
What about the confession?
But it was interesting that I found from that time that I read in the Bible, but when you go to church, they'll give you two little quotes from the Bible, and then it more become just like a process. Because I haven't been to Catholic church in a while, but I can sit in Catholic church and I can say the mass together with the priest. That is how, I don't call it indoctrinated, but that is how deep I was into the Catholic. It didn't matter that we had confession in school, and then I had to just say, Father, I want to confess, but let's have a discussion. And we just sit and we discuss, and I ask certain questions, and he answer me, and whatever, and because you must go for confession as part of your educational curriculum in St. Mary's Academy. So all the aspects of the religious life, I think I went through it. Today, that makes me do the man I be. As I tell you.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. You ever thought of becoming a priest?
No. That was never. At the time, I was
brother.
A police. When I was younger, police, not a priest.
Don't you want to be a police?
A police, yeah, that was long time primary school days. My ambition was to be a police, but over the years, it has always changed. It has always changed, but I want to be a police. That's the first thing I wanted to be. A police. That's weird.
I'm watching you there like a police?
A police, yeah.
Don't he?
But it have like a chick, she tell me, you see that, it has some weird police, and she started to call one to fella's name, and if all it was police, it don't do a crime. And she come in, look at your strap, your built, your thing, your feet, in comparison to the police we have. But at that time, I really wanted to be a police. I find it was appealing to me in my younger thing. But no brain, never a priest.
Okay.
Never a priest, never altar boy in our. Remember, it had little things to check as quote unquote, what kind of mark, what kind of thing that, you know.
Well, that's
For
what
us meeting up.
Okay.
You check? I mean, I wouldn't say some of the things we would have been saying to also on the negative part we on here now, but it always had the negative too, you know, everything.
Okay.
The positive and the negative.
All right.
Okay, so within this school, when you go into school, you know, it had those you'd call like them studious boys, you'd call them in a nice term, or you maybe use the M word and call them that, and the church boy. Although we part of the church and go in school, you know, but it had the rougher section, and it had the kind of a more.
How much did the Lakou life prepared you to be Dante? Because you spoke earlier on of you going in certain places at school, you did certain things while at school. How much of that life, that Lakou life, prepared you for who you're going to become?
Well, I said everything, right? Every single thing. Because I know the community like the back of my hand. I've been every part of that region then. Under the hospital, pass from Yampis and go center room. I know that whole thing in Fonkole. Imagine you have a road that you can go from Stock Farm and walk, hike. Well, not really hike, just walk. And end up on Trafalgar Road, you know. All those tracks there, we take that in. Okay, so we know the community. We get the appreciation of the way people live in. I mean, in Yampis, in 2000, when I was going to college, I actually wired a lot of houses in Yampis, you know. People build their house and they had a little money. I'd wire a house, somebody give me $40, $50, but everybody have nothing. I wire a few houses, you know, for almost nothing in Yampis area. At that time, we were going around looking for land to squat. I had my little piece, my partner, all of us. Some of us learned to grow to get this land there. Some of us after a certain while because of our school, you have to forget about it. But I mean, it was late. I always tell fellas, if early times when it had squatting, our parents had that in mind, our parents had gone squat a little piece for us, but by the time we see we think of what we grow up to think of squatting land, all the prime land in Yampis has already taken, you know. So you have to go down now in the back, down in the valley, even though the big communities there now. Eh?
A friend of yours, I will not call his name, a friend of yours said, I could have been a priest because I had the grades. Maybe I should have been a friend of yours. I'm sure he would have mentioned that to you someday. a friend of yours.
Yeah.
Today he's like he has the same philosophy like you.
Yeah, well.
Let me ask you, what about Bellevue Roll? You ever went through that track up there? By Jack
Bellevue Roll, you can pass that to go Trafalgar.
Yeah,
we do a little farming up there on the estate for Mr. Jack.
Okay.
Timmy and them I raise up there, them man raise me up, T-Man, you want T-Bo.
Okay.
Yeah, I raise up around all those fellas there, you know what I mean? In when that carnival and fellas going in carnival, we were very young and we were going and check out up there, you know. Take our little puff hide at the back there, grow a little garden and check out the vibe there from a very young age, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I raised up all up there with T-Bo and them, up there, Timmy.
Squatting, were you ever involved as a boy growing up, squatting lands?
Yeah. We squatted pieces, but we squat late. I mean, at the time when the Yampis was developing and people was squatting land there, at that time there, I mean, we wasn't really on that. I mean, we tried all those area people living there. We tried those areas there to go and hide and to go and take our little taff, you know.
Why hide?
Well, because at that time there, you know, you have to buy or steal your clothes by jollies for you and smoke your little joint, and then for a moment to notice you have to be there, everybody putting jump with each other's eyes, you know. So we go right inside there by our partner fires. Find one of them first set of people to be living inside the Yampis, you know, and Mr. Kojo, you know, and then people at their garden and thing. But by that time they didn't have no road or track. And we used to lime, you know, the boys Simon Bolivar, all inside there we used to be, you know. Okay. Right there. So we are actually there at the time of the land being available, but by the time we get that kind of a vibe to say, well, let's look and get a piece of land, like all the nights and us had been taken up.
Let me ask you, whilst they were squatting, did everybody come into the Yampis area one time, or they just came gradually?
No, gradually. Okay. Gradually. Well, people had gardens there, they started to put up their little homes with their garden, And then, and then after in the era of things, they had to make a road. And then when it caught up, it just caught up nicely.
So during that period, did you witness the authority get into Yampis and these areas to tell people that they should leave this property or properties?
But the man breaking down out. I did name. I even worked with him in city council. He was a city overseer at the time. Everybody says to his name.
City overseer?
Yes.
For sure not Philbert.
No, Moses.
Oh.
Moses.
Mm-hmm.
I see Moses and them in work, but them man break down someone's house. All on the highway, the man break down house. Next day, house build back overnight time. All in Tarish Pit, I see.
Hold on. You're saying to the listening audience that in Tarish Pit as we speak, there are people who are actually residing there now who, when they started, the authority would have broken down the homes. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, man. Yes. Stock farm too. Stock farm.
But next day, same night, it build back.
Yeah, but you're mad, man. Fellas, that time, that unity, when you man come together, time you come back, but that house built already. Man have to build house fast, and once you have a matches in there, these are against the law for them to break it down. So you have to try and build fast and put a mattress to give appearance that somebody sleeping there, and then you cannot break it down. But growing up, I see all that in stock farm. Even where the church is there, see where the church under the college? Yeah, even...
That big church there.
That big church there. Yeah, a young lady had to go in the mall and put her house there, You couldn't see the house, a young girl. And she built her house there inside there, from Yampis, And then the authority come and remove her. Tell her it was college land.
Okay.
Yeah, tell her it was college land. At that time, all in Yampis was college land, was considered college land. So you're considered squatting on college land, because the college land was reaching right to the Yampis Road. Not the concrete road I built there, the Yampis Road. So from the road, go up, that was the college boundary, From the Yampis Road, all that on, if you go inside the Yampis, Cecil, all that on the left side of the road was considered.
We can say the northern side to the state college.
To the state college, right?
Yeah, that was considered the state college land.
Right. Remember Blues had the little thing lower down in the mall here.
Yeah.
Right. So all there was considered college land. But right down to all where the church is there to go also across right inside the Yampis college land. But then after it subside and get smaller and eventually they put up a fence and
a wall,
then,
yes.
as per law, once you put up your fence, you establish your boundary.
Yes.
so in other words, people still squatted. A lot of people squatted on college land.
Underneath college.
Yeah. But it was college land. So at that time, it was very difficult, but they break them down for people to come back and build back, and then after, eventually, the authority is given to people being there.
That's a good story, Adams.
Yeah, that's very nice.
To
historical,
hear. Yeah, because some people might not be aware of that. Some people might think that these houses that they're seeing is a scheme built. And Dante is saying to us that he lived in the area for a number of years, and quite a number of people squat in the area. No, Dante, where are these people actually coming from?
But all over, not no particular place, not all over. So right now, like in Yampis, they have a mix. But right now, it's Yampis people, they're the first time they live in there.
Yeah.
But you have people from Grand Fort, from Soufriere, from Portsmouth, you have people from all over.
Inside that place.
Inside Yampis, yeah. At that time.
And so the original set of people that came in, you are saying that they came from all about?
All about.
So not necessarily Fokole and Pottersville.
Kalinago territory.
Even from the Kalinago?
All about Cecil.
What?
Some Pottersville. And right now, then after they bring up the Betong people up there, the Betong, because I lived in the time when the hurricane had ravaged Betong, and then actually was my brother that got the job. The job, Nelson, you must know Nelson, to actually demolish Betong. And I mean, it was a simple that made resistance, We had to go there days and we had to do kind of live and go,
You're talking about in Betong that there was still resistance to go up to Yampis?
People didn't want to live there, man. I telling you, certain people go. Certain people that was kind of like traumatized by what the river done. But certain people, because their life they had developed in Betong, they didn't want to go. They didn't want to go, We actually have one house in Betong. We actually put that in my father's truck. Jack that up and put that on my father's truck, and we bring that in Benjamin Lane.
You're talking an empty lot in Benjamin Lane that goes across to Bowers Lane?
Not the one that going towards, not the side that going towards Gotha.
Okay.
The other side.
That goes towards Bowers Lane.
Huh?
That goes towards Bowers Lane?
No, Benjamin Lane.
Benjamin Lane, right.
Benjamin has two sides.
Right.
You can take your left into Benjamin Lane.
Into Benjamin Lane.
Your right into Benjamin Lane.
That's correct.
When you're on Charles Avenue.
Right.
You need to take your right.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I want to take your right.
We take out some beton and we transport it on my
When you take your right, you take a right going to the hospital.
Right, going to the hospital. Right?
Okay.
When you're going up Charles Avenue to the
so that's southern side of Benjamin Lane.
Of Benjamin Lane, right.
Right.
So you'll put the house there.
We take one of the houses there, put it on my father's truck, and we build a foundation and put it on the foundation up there, for somebody. But it's a little resistance. I mean, it is when people develop the little ghetto, like the little ghetto economy. We didn't want to leave. Eventually they left, and most of them are up in Stock Farm.
That's a good story, though.
Good story.
To follow the life of the people in Stock Farm.
Evolution, yeah.
Maybe it would have been the same thing for Gotha.
Oh, yes.
Well, Gotha, we see Gotha change. Right now, we had that big turning point there. Can remember they had house, they had between Jesse and them there. A little cool what I was there, Remember they had a big house inside there,
Yes.
So I watched it.
I think the Winston, I think is to be living in that area there.
Yeah, well, them time I young, so I can really tell you the name of who I know. Because when you're young, you can really be in everybody.
Yeah, this is tall, upstairs and downstairs house.
Yeah.
Yes. On the eastern side, if you want to say the eastern side of
but that nice big turning point you see in Gotha there.
Right there.
Right.
Yeah, there that people are living there, they didn't have the thing.
But I remember the fella, they had a nice place, Cine, and he also had a workshop up a woodwork
in Tarish
shop
Beach.
in Tarish Beach.
Yes, Seki.
Seki.
Yes. Ma Antoinette, the shop.
In the shop.
The shop is still there. Ma Antoinette, big up yourself, you listen to us. Ma Antoinette still there in the shop all now.
But she's
Yeah,
still there.
that's close people I raise up with.
And she's still in that shop.
Yeah, she's still in the shop.
Okay.
So you are telling us that you would have seen the struggles of the squatters, the ordinary people who are trying to make a life for themselves.
Yeah, man. I raise up, like, that is part of my life. And then when I started to work close with Mr. Julius Timothy, and certain time I was his main man going around trying to bring development small as he can to people in Rosenhof. So then I work very, very close with Mr. Cecil, you know that. I mean, at the point in time, as I tell you, from 2009, when I got introduced to that political life, I mean, after school, I didn't worry about that politics and voting thing and whatever it is. Because when you come out of school, the life you're looking for now, you're looking for your girlfriend, you're looking for you to make money, because right now you're getting big man, and not everything you do in your parents agree with. So you have to start to fend for yourself for you to be able to, I travel to Guadeloupe. I work in Guadeloupe in construction. I clean yard in Guadeloupe. I wash vehicles in Guadeloupe. I do all my different things in Guadeloupe,
Did you pass through the back door in Guadeloupe, or you took?
Yeah, I passed through the back door, I mean.
You took small boat.
Small boat, 40 engine, 17 fellas.
What?
Today I tell them, boy, don't think you was mad.
17 fellas?
17 fellas or 40 engine, sometimes even more than that.
40 engine,
Yeah.
one engine, 40.
One engine.
How
Yeah,
many man on that?
is
40
all.
horsepower?
Yeah.
How many men on that? 17, 20 men on that?
17, 20, different. Ooh. I mean, when first want to go there, because, and that is what that gave me the appreciation of coming to politics, Because I seen the things people going through to try and make a better life for themselves. Why we not trying to give the opportunity in Dominica? And then I watch the politics grow, and I grow with it. From we go back way back when to now. And I mean, I raise up in the ghetto. And how it is that in this time I raise up, when you hear about $1,000, $1,000 this thing, I in life then we started to talk about billions of dollars. And we start to see billions of dollars in Dominica.
I want to come back before we go to this $1 billion in Dominica. I'll come to that. I want to take that trip with you into Guadeloupe. You said that you would go in the heights to have your marijuana, plant your marijuana, and so on.
No, that at that time that wasn't planting marijuana to go to Guadeloupe.
No, I'm not saying that.
That time was planting marijuana to smoke.
Right. So I'm just looking now.
Boys.
I'm not looking at the fact that you would have found yourself passing back door to go to Guadeloupe. Is it because you were involved in the trade that you wanted to ensure that you make a little money, as you said?
No.
Or you were just doing the back door because you didn't want the authority to catch you? What it was like?
Well, at the time, remember you had to get a visa, that different things. At the time, you had to go and get an invitation. But I mean, you always have the consensus of young people growing up that it have a better day in Guadeloupe. So at the time, making back door, it wasn't making back door to do no drug trafficking, you know. It was making back door to go and look for opportunity. People who work, you know, people touching RME. Once you're living up there, you can get a chance to get the people, you can get a girlfriend. And by that time, I had a girlfriend in Guadeloupe. Today, we have two daughters, 16 and 19. Actually, they scheduled to come Dominican. There's this there. You have to go breakfast for the big now, so you have to come to breakfast. You can't treat their father. You check? And they come all their friends. They bring all their friends with them. Yeah, last year there was the first time I went to breakfast fest, you know. My children had grown big enough that they had interest in breakfast.
No, going through the channel 17 of you, how was that?
Cecil, I tell you, I was young. It was just like nothing.
It was
It was
fun.
just like nothing, you know. We are just doing that up a boat and do afraid. When you reach up there, chances you can get yourself to make police hold you and reach. If you hitchhike a ride, I mean, it always have bigger persons there that own their vibes. You check? But plenty of us from the ghetto, we just go in and just look for a better life, you know. It didn't have nothing to do with no trade or no nothing, you know. Yeah, that would going up, but you can see how they can make Guada. And that's how it is. It's already in Guadeloupe now, when you reach Guadeloupe now, you would have realized, well, you can't just come Guadeloupe just one just look for making it. Some people turn to stealing, some people turn to high crime robbery. I mean, it are fellas I know that lost their life along the way in them struggles there. You know, a whole different array of different things happening. Some fellas reach up there. A lot of my friends die. I see fellas with stomach open, bullet in head. You know, different things. But it is struggle that pushes us to doing that. Because opportunity just wasn't there. When I finished college, I went to look for an interview at Ask the Fans. And I got in the job. It was to be a normal floor attendant, and I realized at that time that, boy, is what family come from, who you know, eh? Because I mean, I have my papers, I get my ones and twos in CXC, I finished college, and I get a job. I didn't apply for any particular job. When they did the show me that I have to start on Monday, I have to come and I have to toss them tin of milk and repack the shelf and whatever it is. Not the problem I get my job, but in that time I had a little issue, you know, little fighting with fellas, a little gang, you know, dentist crew, mad squad, different gang, you know. It had little fighting. Them then it was pelleting stone bottle. And after that interview, them and bow with me, I ended up getting a scar on my neck right there. I nearly died. Okay? And that's why I couldn't go to the job in Ask the Fans.
Oh, you all had gangs? Gang war?
Well, brain, I mean, it had gang war, brain. If you ask me if I was involved in gang war, I was from stock farm.
Oh, yeah.
When you have Rose and done man stock farm to come down there for like a girlfriend thing. But it wasn't the kind of war we're having today, it's kill. Although you could have lost your life, but it was it had that I go for all that aspect within the ghetto, within the community. Okay? I mean, Roseau was always Roseau, Bath Estate. First, it had dentist, it had different things. It was childish things. It wasn't that serious as to, even today, them we still friends and together. At that time, it was that. I mean, it was everybody want to show their dominance in the society. Everybody want to have their reputation. I mean, if you understand life, at a certain point in a man's life, he does be that or that. In a girl's life, is that or that. You know, I mean, we cannot drift away from that. Okay, only if certain times we put things in place in the society to actually capture our youths. And then, you know, don't get interested in that, but you know already idle hands, you know already they have workshops, so when people have nothing to do is all
So that was the only near miss in terms of your life that would have happened to you. Did you see anything of that nature in Guadeloupe? Because you said you saw some guys with their head split and their stomach open.
In Guadeloupe, I mean, I always try my best to stay on the safe side, and I put myself in too much particular things to get myself in too much. But I mean, as I tell you, with always friends, despite what we're doing, we'll meet and congregate in Guadeloupe, and in the Parky in there and fellas there. So it always friends, always think about people that be involved in different things. Certain fellas used to go in town and burst people chain, go in and so all the things I see those things, but as in anything, you never know which any person you see somebody look like a juju, but the person have a son behind you, come back behind you, a daughter. I see fellas that do that end up losing their life because there was somebody that do that, and when the person come, the person that did the crime escape, and like bad company just lead you astray, and the person that do doing the crime, but just because of being in the mix, they are losing their life. I see all those things too, Cecil. You check, brain. So when I come today and make my stand in politics, it's for us to create opportunity, because I know about opportunity. Because at the time when I do some work with Mr. Timothy, the block in Yampis was so hot. And I mean, because Yampis had fellas, and then I had a gang of 48 fellas working for me, when you're doing that road under the college. And we was working, and the police used to be up there every day, 2-3 times. And until that period, the police stopped coming there.
Let me ask you, before you go
the block empty.
Before you go there,
fellas working.
Before you go there, Cecil, can I ask him a question now?
Go ahead.
Why politics? Why Boston? Why?
No, but before you go, Brain, he was given a very good story in reference to the 48 guys that he would have had, and police was coming in the area. So let him complete this, and then
and then keep the question.
Yes, go ahead, Boston.
Right. So within myself and Mr. Timothy, we get to organize to do that road. That road was done because of the college. The college released a lot of water to come down. And because of the wood structure that come down and mess up people's properties in Yampis.
Try to get to the mic so that we can get you properly.
Yeah, yes, sorry about that. So at that point in time, Mr. Timothy come up with an idea for us to do that job. We got Mr. Francis Emmanuel on board, and he provided the equipment because he didn't really have no money to do the work. But the little money Mr. Timothy had, we were going to try to do that road. So I got the job. At that time, I was into versed in construction, but I had my brother to lean on. So my brother gave me all my pointers. I was from Long Island learning fast. And we just hired all the fellas in Yampis, Stock Farm, even some fellas from Fokoli, and we had 47. But at that time, Yampis was kind of like a mini society. Police was inside there, steadies, come inside there, looking for gun, looking for thing, looking for drugs. And at that point in time, when you see that little road start to be, and anybody in Yampis can attest to that. The gangs of fellas that be pockets of fellas that be up and down, police will be chasing, they were all employed on the road up there. Okay? And them police would come there, and they would, at that time they stopped coming there because they would come there, they would meet nobody to chase. The blocks of them are just dispersed just because of work that was provided for fellas. So you could see it wasn't that fellas wanted to engage in negativity, but they just didn't have nothing to do. Because look the road there, how much years later, now be that road about 2009 thereabout, and see the road to there. And even in that gang of fellas working, fellas move on to become machine operators. Fellas go from doing lab work right now, there's big trade man, and all fellas disperse into their own little private land, who build in their house, who build house, who go overseas and work in construction. And I see myself is just, we're not there actively creating situations for people to be able to take care of themselves and raise their family and transition from being a children to being men and women. Okay? And in politics, that was my introduction to construction, and I see the benefits of somebody in politics, in leadership role, yes, in leadership roles, that can engage the young people and create ways for them to be able to transition into men and women, grow in their family, despite how it is, but especially in work. And I see like today, like working or locally working, that does not become a thing. I just doesn't understand.
You want to ask a question?
Yeah, good.
Brain.
So let me take you straight into the question, because you're hot into the politics now. Why politics? Why did you choose to be
destiny? It's just destiny because of my community spirit. Because of my community spirit. Okay? Mr. Timothy see that in me. So then we organized a little project. My first project I did was we fixed the road. You can remember Stock Farm was one of the really deep horrible road. From the Public Works Junction all the way up to that corner there. You see where the Beton House is? I'm sitting in that corner there where they started skip there before. Just above Joe.
Okay.
Joe likes to work thing, right? We repair all in Simon Bolivar. We did that, the bus drivers, young boys from the community, we come together and we do that. That was a very proud moment for Mr. Joseph Timothy. And that is kind of my introduction. But I did a lot of work with Mr. Timothy. Mr. Timothy was close with my father. My mother used to work with Mr. Timothy in ACS, even when I was going to high school. My father was a truck driver. So me and Mr. Timothy, we actually build that bond. I mean, when I graduated SME in 1999, Mr. Norris Prevost, Mr. Julius Timothy, and Mr. Edison James came to my graduation in the Cathedral on my behalf of my father. We take our photos, we have some photos home still. And, you know, in front of me, they tell me, at that time there was in government, they say, my father, boss, your son will be okay. My father was tight knit with them, he was doing all the trucking for them. And whatever it is, my father was in his politics but on that level. But I mean, I grew up knowing Mr. Norris Prevost, grew up knowing Mr. Julius Timothy. In my more grown-up days, Mr. Timothy empowered me, so I got introduced to politics. And then from there, I can just say, politics was just drawn to me. Like everywhere I go, it'll have a political discussion, it'll have a politics, either way. So I couldn't run from it. So I just call it like destiny.
Yeah, but fine. Very interesting that you mentioned your father's Spider. Because I knew Spider very well in the Pottersville area playing dominoes. He had a little girlfriend there. You know, he had many children. In fact, the last time we clocked, he had about 30 of all you
39.
39 children.
That's what he told me, 49.
49, yeah.
He showed me 49 birth papers.
Yeah, 49 children. And I knew he used to be very much active in politics, but I knew him very early as being with the Labour Party. I knew him very, very early in the days because we used to move together. He had that truck. So what are you seeing now? What are you seeing? What would you like to see for your community, seeing that you're in the politics business? No.
But I need to see Rosenhof develop. Because in my time, in my years, the most focused time of any form of development in Rosenhof was under the tenureship of Mr. Julius Timothy. After that, it's just like nothing. We see Charles Avenue done by Caribbean contractors, Mr. Francis Emmanuel. The College Road by Public Works. We have the upgrade of the hospital. Right now, presently, at the good school going on. But those projects were big projects. It impacted the infrastructure, but it never really impacted the lives of the people of quote unquote the ghetto.
Mr. Timothy served with two political parties. You could, because you said you saw the development under Mr. Timothy's tenure. You told us the story of you being empowered in 2009 by Mr. Timothy. So I'm trying to figure out in my own mind, I'm sure many other people might be doing the same.
In terms of the year?
In terms of the period that you would have spoken of in reference to the development of the community or the Rosenhof constituency.
It have areas I can tell in Fokoli that never had a road. You can go there now, Mr. Timothy put the road there. It have areas in Stock Farm that didn't have proper road. Even in Yampis. Even in Yampis, I know your father did a lot of road in Yampis too. You can never
Yampis and Fokoli.
Huh?
Yampis and Fokoli.
Yeah, you're talking about Hayden.
Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hayden. But in all those times there, you think about it, either one way or the other, Mr. Timothy was the parrot. Because Mr. Timothy lost that seat in 2014. But still continued as a minister and still continued
As a caretaker.
Until 2017.
Yes.
But all along that time, Mr. Timothy was always about empowering the young people. He was always about that, you know.
I want to agree with you.
We cannot deny that. I
want to agree with you.
Always in that. He never wanted to see. He had a thing about dead end roads. He had a thing about dead end roads. If you look at that road,
Roslyn and Libla Lane.
Yeah, Roslyn and Libla Lane. But I want to talk to you about that road there in Stock Farm.
Mm-hmm.
That road where Mr. Charles Gordon, recently deceased. But you know, there was always a dead end around the area by Mr. Philip Dover there and that thing there, by Batside and them there. There was always a dead end.
Yeah, you couldn't go through.
You couldn't go through there, and I mean, I wasn't old enough, but besides all the history, I learned about the place under Mr. Grove, Eugene Grove, and engineers trying to see how they could construct road right there. And lo and behold, when I came there with my brother, I mean, my brother is one of them best top building. When he come to building, he just give me he didn't need a pen and paper. He have the vision, and I say I get that from him. And when we show Mr. Timothy what we're going to do there, he still didn't have no money. Give thanks to Mr. Francis Emmanuel for providing what he could provide. And then, you know, with the little bit of money Mr. Timothy had, we were able with the same young men from Stock Farm and Yampis to construct that road. It didn't surface yet, but we constructed that road sometime in 2011, 2012, and you could actually have vehicle access to those both areas, you know. So you could live by that bus stop and go down and make the run go to Irish Street, as you can do today. And it's strange, at that time, it was politics. Everything is politics. At that time, the party, it was under the Labour Party. We were doing this work. But we did this work. Like Mr. Timothy had the intuition, we will push the work, and then after the work start to go, then the government will have come in and they see the vision, okay? But to have gotten those projects going as at the level, it always had to have a startup. And Mr. Timothy was always into it as that because he knew what he wanted to do. And with the minimum amount of money he had, we just used to just start the road. The Yampis road we started, didn't have much money, and then in the end, when I myself brought the Prime Minister to see the road and thing, and in that big forum thing, Prime Minister announced that he going to make the money available for that road to build, finish build in Yampis. But we had already done a major portion of the road. But as Mr. Timothy said, we starting inside. We don't start in at the front. We start the road inside in the dead end, inside under the college here, coming down. And then after the Prime Minister came up there and the first what he said when he put up and he watched on the hill and he watched down, he said, Boston, I'm telling you that now. But plain all the fellas can land there, man. Because the size of the road, just a little village road, you could call it. You know, and in the area, you know, when the road was fresh, you could see everything. And, you know, so at that point, you know, but a lot of road had been built with liquor or no money. With liquor or no money. And then government come on board and provide the rest of the money. And right now, it is what it is today. You know, but I thought this project started. So I tell myself no, and at that time, it didn't have all that financing. It was a struggle. I was there, I knew about it. I would go to meetings with Mr. Timothy. It was a guaye. Then I witness the increase of the money and the decrease of the impact of people around me and of people in society.
Why you say that? You said that in terms of the evolution of Mr. Timothy and the introduction of the people, you empowering people within the community.
Right.
Are you not seeing that now? In terms of development. Let me just repeat. You said that during the time of Mr. Timothy, that the community people, the young men, to be more specific, were involved. Right? Are you not seeing that now?
No.
Why you say that?
Because that's only happening when they have election season and politics. With Mr. Timothy, it was happening, the little we could scrap up. So it's a difference. Because if you come on in Rosenhof now, you're going to see fellas working, cleaning area, cleaning things. And in time, Mr. Timothy, we didn't have to be politics. We'll be doing these things as for community service. So that's the difference. Okay, one can say we're working, the young ones appreciate it, and I don't think there's nobody making their little stipend, their little sand. So all now, 1, 2 fellas employed. But how long are they going to last?
But even before Miriam was actually the parliamentary representative in the period of Hurricane Maria. You know who the parliamentary representative was, but Miriam did quite a lot of work empowering young men and women too in that community.
After Hurricane Maria?
Yes, after Hurricane Maria.
Well,
I want us to give a fair assessment of...
No, can you give a fair assessment? After Hurricane Maria, Rosenhoff had needed a hero. Rosenhoff had needed a hero. It had... Every people was down, people were depressed. It had things available. It had finance available. Okay? And if Miss Blanchard, Miriam, had put herself to be that hero, she would have been the representative that contested the election in 2019.
No, being a hero. Honest. No, being a hero doesn't qualify you all of the times to be the parliamentary representative. I mean, there are people with the skill set to get things like you said at the very beginning of your life. You had the skill set to lead and to empower people and to strengthen people. So people will see that in you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that at the time that your whole setting was going to be up to be a politician.
See, at that point in our politics, that has been unfair, because it didn't really have much people within the administration that had the will or the intention to be in politics. We were just choosing them, and they would just ride on the prime minister's popularity. I can name names and people. They didn't have nothing, just like maybe you can say about Miriam, but we know that is not the reason why.
No, but I was telling you that at the time, because you're saying that besides Mr. Timothy, you did not see that existing.
We cannot come Maria in that, because Maria
it went beyond Maria. It didn't go. It did not stay during the period of Maria. I'm not saying that you would have seen her leadership role that she played and in empowering young people during 2017 into 2019.
Right. But Cecil, with all the respect, Cecil, even today we're talking in government about Maria and it destroyed the GDP. So every time 2 years after Maria it wasn't recovery from Maria, so I said, I don't fear. At that time, anything you do was, the perspective was just there. Let me tell you something, Cecil, and you was as the ex-mayor. $177,000 was placed in city council, and I was a councillor, for clean up in Roseau North. Since that money stayed there for years until nobody could even recognize the money, but I know the money was there. That was under Miss Irene John. That money stayed there until when city council make how much up and down trying to find who money, all ministries. But I know, because looking very close to Mrs. John in this time there, and even in actuality, when Miriam was the power rep, there was a meeting in St. Alphonsus Church. Okay, and people come and voice their concerns. The Prime Minister was there, and even the people from Baytown was concerned about that big drain, and mosquito was breeding there and different things. And the Prime Minister himself call me and call Miriam and say, get people concerned about this thing there, the morning city council there, which I know. Look, you have Boston there thing. Let's get the work done. The money stay there. And I can tell you the money going to all kind of other thing now. I try and get city council to empower the money, not to use it, but to use it to secure some equipments. I can see it bullfacedly. My advice to them was, let's put it on a fixed deposit and we can take a loan against it. Let's see if we can get out 5 trucks and buy one little thing for us to work better.
But then, if according to you, if the money belongs to the city council for the work of the people, you cannot take the money that is placed there for the duties of.
Nobody didn't remember the money. We wasn't going to use the money. We're going to use the money as a security, another monkey. We are going to use the money as a security. The money will always be there, even gaining interest, and we could be able to use it to empower city council. And that was my brainchild, for us to get more trucks and equipment so we can work better in the city. And it was brought up with resistance with the city clerk and the power rep for Roseau.
They're not there to determine that side. I don't want to discuss something that somebody else cannot say that's not a fact.
So that's a calling program then?
No, it's a calling program.
They can call
in the next 2 minutes. No, in the next it's 9 o'clock. We have our lines open.
Okay, well we can it like them so they can have things to think about to call in. But anyway, that was the plan. That was the plan, and then after come with resistance until after we have to break the fixed deposit, and then after they take money and do basketball cutting, pay for basketball cutting, buffet and other things. But I want to tell you, that money was placed there in city council okay, for clean up, and the clean up was never done, okay, under Miss Blanchard. So I know I'm telling you, it had monies in City Council for the rehabilitation of the Tarish Pit Road. That stayed there so long and no work to do. That money ended up going in the Roseau Valley Road. It had money in City Council for the rehabilitation of the Gutter Road, Bowes Lane. So the facts I give you there, you know. And anybody that want to take me up on that, it had money for the development of the Pottersville Savannah. They did some fencing. I think it still has some money there. But all those things, not to say I divulge in no information, is council, all the money are gazetted, public information are there, so I don't feel it no way. Alright? And these people are not doing the work. They're not doing the work. I even went to Mr. Isaac in his time, Mr. 19. I say Mr. 2019, Mr. Isaac, why we not doing the road? Look at have the road there. The pit eradication program, it never reached Roseau enough. Although they had placed $200,000 in the Funko Development Committee for that pit eradication program. You can tell me, Cecil, if you know anywhere that program reaching Roseau enough. And I can go on and on and on. You don't tell me things, Cecil. I know I was there. I, Shaman Boston, that is my name. I was there all along the way. When you had the small business development, all kind of things, every time come Roseau enough and make a big beef, and nothing don't reach in the Roseau enough people. I was there, Cecil. I know. Don't take me for no. I know that I say it.
No. I'm not denying what you say.
You yourself, Cecil. All of today, all of us talking about the young lady, that the potential Labour candidate. Cecil, when Miss Blanchard was sick, Cecil, who was the caretaker of Roseau North? What that person do for Roseau North? For the administration to even want to come and talk about who will deliver. So what is saying? The last part was incompetent, the last caretaker was incompetent, and this young lady, she will deliver under the same government. Maybe
the caretaker is not interested. You have to find out from the caretaker whether he or she was interested.
Hang on, Mr.
Rather than making a blanket statement.
One thing I'm telling you, let me tell you that again.
Yes.
In the absence of Miss Blanchard, what did the caretaker do in Roseau North? I don't talk about politics. I talk about what did the caretaker do? What project, what thing he initiate? What did the government use the caretaker to do in Roseau North?
Mr. Boston.
Make party. I apologize.
I know you get too
I apologize. Sorry, brain. I apologize. I just try my best to this.
I know you're emotional.
To the viewers, I apologize if I sound
No, you can sound emotional, man.
No, I just want to tell you, it's 9:01 now, so the listeners out there, you can call. Hold on. Let me just give them the number. Numbers 1-800-327. I repeat, 1-800-327. That is one. You can also call if you're overseas, 305-432-9744. I repeat, 305-432-9744, or you can call 448-3284, 448-3284, or you can also call 448-3281, 448-3281. Yes.
Yeah. My question before the call. I heard you talk about a middle class. You repeated that many times in the discussion we had up there at the hospital auditorium.
You feeding any question?
Yeah. What do you mean by a middle class? What are you talking about? Build the middle class if there is no middle class.
Okay, then the working class. Let me another with the working class.
No, I rather the middle class.
Huh?
Don't go to the working class. There is a difference between the working class and the middle class. What do you really mean by the middle class?
Well, there's no. Tell me the difference between the working class and the middle class. No. I want you to tell me. Because
I know the middle
class and the working class. I want you to tell me.
When I'm talking about a working class, I'm talking about the people of a low income. Let's say, for instance, a person probably making more than $1,000 or about $1,000. When I talk about the middle class, I'm referring to people who would be making more than $4,000 a month. So you say, without a middle class, Dominica can go nowhere.
But that is your analogy, or that is a general conception of the middle class?
Yes.
So well, if it's for the middle class, you have to be making more than 4,000. Well, our country have collapsed because more than $4,000. I'm burning. Dominica, we living in it. It don't have much people making more than 4,000. So we don't have a middle class.
No, I want to tell how you're going to evolve if there is no middle class. So how you're going to evolve it?
But let me tell you my concept of the middle class.
Yeah,
my concept of the middle class is
that's why I want to know your concept.
People are actually working and they able to participate in the building of society, because in our country, you know, our cash cow is taxation for the government. I mean, we get the CBI rise and fall and maybe rise again and whatever it is, or it might become in the future. No problem.
Will we have
just want to hold. Let's hold on. Let's take a
It's getting hot inside here.
Good evening to you, caller. Your life. Good evening, caller. Your life.
Your life.
Good evening, Fireman Touching Base.
Good evening.
Good evening to Mr. Brain. Good evening to
your partner, man,
Mr. Boston. Yes, my lord.
Your partner.
No, boy, so much fire the ball. Only man what I can say last year. No.
Yeah.
You see the Rasta business, Boston, I don't know if it's a Rasta on that point there, because I do Rasta business self is his name of his name, Emperor Selassie. And Selassie in power, the Trinity, so any man defending Rasta, that is the code. You see it, but anyway, they're going forward. No, I will say a whole heap of things. Even when you talk about Timothy, but don't forget, you say it was a Timothy for a while, but remember Timothy stayed 4.5 with workers, right? Now Timothy come on the next side. Now, based on what you're saying, I realize all the development you talk about in that area there, really and truly, is under the Labour Party with Timothy, right? Now, as you said in 2014, now, Timothy lost, right? Now, Danny Luque take over. So, based on what you're saying there, it have a pal rep in the area, right? So, the project, all the project was there now. What the pal rep was doing at the time, as being a pal rep, what he was really doing at the time as a pal rep, nothing. Based on what you're saying, he wasn't doing nothing. Based on what I was saying, right? Now in 2019, he turned his back and the people didn't go up. He turned his back because he said he have a list or voting list problem. I think that the same is that supposed to vote for that by election anyhow. He step aside, right? A whole heap of people go up. You know, my pal rep come and she win. Anyhow, you know the thing floating already. Anyhow, she falls sick, right? But remember, the problem's still there. So what you're telling me right now, Mr. Boston, I know you very well. You know, we are still at the Foundation. I know you have a lot of things you're talking about because there's nothing happening because everybody, I even there, you say something about handout and them kind of way there. But a lot of people want the handout for themselves and other people have to get it. But no, all them projects you're talking about there. Now we have a new young pal rep coming and even you in the ring. So you're telling me as a man as born in Roseau Central, I tell you, in Goodwill, I vote in Goodwill, even if I take me from Goodwill and put me Paul Michel. There's a different thing by itself, but anyhow, right? You telling me now, as a man born and raised in that area, I've seen the problem, all the problem you're talking about. So what you tell me, instead I vote for Ashma, or vote for you, I don't know about Daniel Luque, because Daniel Luque said his back and the people already, so I said pass him, I don't know about between you and Ashma. You telling me as a voter, vote for you or vote for Ashma?
I can answer, Cecil?
Yes, and I do finish and do that one there.
Okay, first of all, say so, and good night, say so. Yeah. I mean, your voice is, but good night, say so. Rastafari blessings. Selassie I love. Say so, Selassie I love. The choice is clear. I even embarrassed that you asking me that question, but anyway, man and man entitled to their own choice. But I cannot believe Rastafari youth say so, telling me if it's to vote for a Rasta man or if it's to vote for another Labour Party representative that under the same Labour government, that what they coming to do to tell me, what they telling the community now, she will deliver. So she will deliver. So she will be able to convince the government to do things, the others, the caretaker, that which come after Mr. Blanchard, Mr. Isaac as the caretaker when he was before he go parliament, and the rest of them. They were incompetent, they couldn't do it, they couldn't convince the government to do it. I want you to answer that question for me. And then I want to tell you one thing. When you say 2019 or 2022, 2019 was Isaac.
But hear that, my lord. Hear that well. You say there. As I just tell you again, I just asked you, I forget Daniel Luque, between Ashma and you tell him as a voter.
I tell you, choice says so, is the better choice says so. And you can ask Cecil.
But hear me now.
Yes,
you see me, just as a man, as a Rasta man, until I say him, I can never wish my man vote for you. You know why I cannot vote for you, Rasta?
Tell me.
You're the opposition person, right?
Yeah.
Now you see the amount of problem the constituency have. I know how are you going to find the money, Rasta man? Let's get it real.
Oh, why are you going to find the money? Let me answer you that. I want to answer you that one time. I don't do drift from that. If the government real and the government function out of to function. And I'm the PAL rep, and I will advocate for things that need to be done. And if the government real, and the government is supporting real, they will make the funds available to me for me to get the work done. I hope that answering your question clear.
Yeah.
Hear me? Okay, fine. Hear that.
Hang on.
Let him continue. Hold on, Brain. Let him continue.
With a well, let me say what I want to say. Run me out. Take it easy, my lord. I'm a voter in that constituency. I don't vote for voting sake. Because why make him understand? It's impossible for me as a Rasta man to be a voter and go and vote for independent candidate. And I see a young candidate that's looking active, well-grounded. Because meters of in that constituency there, developing us, giving a house and killing a yard and cleaning, draining a Rasta man. We have an education problem, we have a sports problem, we have all different kind of objects.
But we not create them problem, no, Cecil. But Cecil, what is talking there? But Cecil, the administration create all that problem. We had a top-class education system. We had our sporting system was going on. We had fields, we had things. On the Labour Party, they disintegrate. What you talking? But what you say?
No. Boston, you telling me what's goodwill today and what's goodwill yesterday telling me the government of goodwill in that condition maybe today, Rasta. I mean, compared to that,
goodwill?
Boston, you forget right to live, man.
What happened to goodwill?
I tell you what goodwill development today and telling me what it yesterday and what it today. You telling me about playing field and whatsoever. What playing field in the area like that I was so active in the constituency.
But you mad, I play for Toyota Truth.
I mad what?
Cheese. Zebia's not in stock farm. Pottersville, Sabana, and Pottersville.
Compared to that now, them man put a big wall. Them must keep it. They are to play ball in a Rasta. You know better than that. Don't forget we actually have a foundation organized by me and whosoever involved. You know that for a fact. So look at them at that football business. I play football all over in that area. Get it straight. Even Stockholm by the prison up. You know by the prison up there. You can buy that somebody there. Thank you. Let's get it straight.
So what you say we have a
what I'm telling to you, Rastaman, it's impossible. Get it straight. It's impossible for me as a voting person to go and vote for opposition leader who I know opposition person.
Okay, caller.
Listen to me if I go.
Yes.
Let's find out for a fact.
Yes.
The ruling government, right, is in charge. Get it straight, my lord. I'm going to vote for somebody I know that involved in the ruling government. And by right, the only person I see in that constituency right now to do all what you're saying there that never happened. Because it's that young Ashna Empress. Trust me, that woman well grounded. She looking well positive. We don't have to work with her. Or like you, we need on board also. Because you have the ideas, you know, certain things. It's great, but you really and truly have to work with Ashna. You can't work against Ashna. Anyhow, for now,
thank you.
Hold on to run me because someone fire to burn.
Thank you.
Running, fireman running, bless up.
Rastafari. Cecil, let me tell you that you're still there. You be listening to me, Cecil. It doesn't make sense to imagine imagination where, as you say, that Ashma can do it. The representative that seeking to lead for the Labour Party can do it when the Labour Party have been there for past 4 years and clearly they don't want to do it or they couldn't do it, or I don't know if they say like the people that was there was incompetent, that's why it wasn't done. So I want them to tell me what they're really saying because it's the very same government.
So let me ask in reference to the infrastructure of the constituency. You spoke earlier on about the work that Mr. Timothy did under the Labour Party reign. We also have seen the construction of presently we are seeing the construction of the school, the Goodwill School. We also saw that of the $1 square foot land. What do you make of this as the person?
Let me reinforce that. We have seen several infrastructural development in the Roseau North constituency. One of them being the school, which is about to be delivered somewhere this year. We saw the construction of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. We saw that. We see the housing at the by the college there, the Bellevue Rural Housing Scheme. We saw the land being given at $1 square foot to squatters. Is that not a form of development? What are you saying?
Brain, Cecil, infrastructural development that haven't impacted anybody's life cannot be called development when from where I standpoint in the ghetto on the ground. The big school there is pretty nice, our train will go there. Okay, fine. The hospital build, we still hear the cries of the country, the healthcare system, bad. And you even in the Labour Party campaign, that if you need to go overseas, if you have a big hospital, why should you even need to go overseas?
No, that's not a fair assessment. I know there's a big hospital in Martinique, and many people from the Martinique point of view would go to France. I know in Antigua that there are people when they cannot solve certain situations. I know people who come here in Dominica. We have seen in terms of the state college, it's not a fair assessment, where before that you had, according to you in your days, limited people going to the school. Today we have over 1,500, and we have seen the results. I'm not talking politics, I'm just talking about the facts. We have seen the results of students and their achievements at various universities around the world. So it's not a fair assessment to talk about infrastructure and lack of.
Okay, Cecil. What you say, you're right. If people come from Martinique and go to France, depend on the procedure they need to be done. Maybe they didn't have some people that you see who come for a procedure in Dominica.
Right.
That is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the general concept of the hospital, I want your analysis of the general concept of the healthcare system in Dominica. Because I myself, in 2016, I was at the hospital, I spent a few weeks at the hospital. And in that time at the hospital, I had to fly out because I was afraid for my life. Okay? The hospital developed since then. But let me tell you that, Cecil, right there, I had to go to Barbados and do a procedure. Okay? So I know what it is to be in the hospital and your family watching you going down and you know what to do. If you have availability to travel, you travel and you get better. Even in the campaign on the Savannah, we hear Mr. Douglas say that about if you need to fly out, you don't need insurance, the parents will fly you out, and those kind of things. Even the social program, Cecil and Bryn, social program is an indication of failed governance, you know?
No, not necessarily. No. So the United States is failed then? Has failed?
Huh?
France has failed? The United States has failed? The European countries that have social programs, are you saying that these countries have failed?
Cecil,
is that what you say?
When you live in a country and the majority of the country is on the social program, that is an indication of failed governance.
So I'm saying to you,
because if you govern in a country and people cannot actively go to the banks and get loans and buy land and build houses, and it becomes an active thing that you have to provide house for people. After you have to provide the furniture for the house. After you have to provide the repainting of the house, you have to provide the thing for the yard. Cecil, on any standard, that is showing failed governance. You have to make work for people, creation of work in some kind of weird kind of a ways. I mean, and the NEP could have been directed in a better way to serve the country and serve the nation, because we have a lot of people doing landscaping, but we never think of putting the NEP energy into farming. We never think about doing that. We never have troves of fellas going and open land for us to plant and for us to provide food for people in Dominica for them to be able to afford it.
We have never seen that, to be fair.
But we have the NFP program. We have millions of dollars spent in quote unquote, if I listen to the assessment of the Prime Minister spending, but it always going into aspects, the majority of aspects of our society that not bearing no fruit.
Well,
even if we clean the road, and I appreciate
we must not look at the NEP as just cleaning roads.
No. I tell you the majority.
And I'm saying to you, do you know what the majority figures would speak of in terms of people who are in offices giving their expertise to various institutions? Do you know the percentage? I'm just asking.
No, I repeat that question.
I'm saying the percentage. You said that majority of the people that are in NEP are the ones doing the landscaping.
Let's take a call now.
Okay.
We have a call. Let's take a call.
Let's take a call quickly and then come back to the question. Good evening to you. Good evening,
caller. You're live.
Good evening, Brian.
Good evening.
Good evening, Seth.
Good evening.
Good evening, Seth.
Guada, good evening. And good night to my Guada.
Yes, I'm telling my partner. Okay. I want to ask you something. My body is like on the feet. The amount of people that are going to enjoy their money that getting AOSR. You say this of failed country? Guadeloupe? Martinique, you say they failed? But about MDP, they have to say thank you for the government for what the government is doing. Not everybody that will be able to go to the bank and take a loan to build a house. There are people that will have the money and they will be able to build a house. Okay? There are other people that live in city. That's the real boy. Not everybody that could do the same thing. So I think the Prime Minister is working, and we have to work with him and give him and vote for the young lady.
Thank you, caller.
She'll be able to do what she
Thank you, caller. I just want to correct that individual. I won't call names. Ebe, look a Lakou tonight, Papa. DBS manager on a program talking party politics. I'm not talking party politics.
Not talking party politics.
I just want to say to that writer that I am not talking party politics. All I'm doing is the guest made a statement and I'm asking follow-up questions. And Shaman, if I play politics, tell me if I play politics. You made a statement and I ask you, how do you know the majority in reference to the NEP? Yes. And if the person thinks that is a political question, it's because you are very political, you that individual. I know you very well. Let's take a telephone.
Let's take another call. People are political.
What's that you said?
People are political are listening tonight, and that's the problem.
Yeah, okay, all right.
The question is asking me about the percentage. We can see with our eyes.
Just hold on. I'm another caller. Quickly. Good evening to you, caller.
Fast and furious.
Good evening, Cecil. Good evening, Brent. Good evening to the young gentleman.
Good evening.
Yeah. I heard he's talking about social programs are failure. Let me bring something clear to the gentleman. I live in the United States, and I know what social program is. And tell me if America is a failure or if it's a success. Okay, America has a program called the Food Benefits Program, subsidies for the unfortunate ones and the unsuccessful ones among the American society, where they go and they get groceries up to 100 and up to $1,400 a month. All right, U.S. dollars we're talking about. It will go down as $120. Is that a failure or is it a success? Next, they have health care benefits for the less fortunate among us in the United States. I am one that's underneath it as well. Is that a failure or success? There are housing programs which are called Section 8 in the United States, okay, which is, I will not call a hands out, but a hands up, all right? You call that a success or failure? France has it. England has it. Canada has it. All of these countries has this social program. Why Dominica cannot get a break in helping the less fortunate? I know you would like to give the young people and the older ones that want to remain young a playing field to play football and want to help a few friends. Yes, it's good in doing that, my friend, right? But you have to look at the long-term picture. Not every day we have to play. They say all fun and no work make Jack what? A dull boy. All right? So...
We lost the caller.
Not so sure the caller.
I lost
the caller. Yes, you're saying something. Yes, go ahead.
Let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a country of about 70,000 people. Okay? Presently, our government, we have budgets and monetary thing amounting to billions of dollars. Cecil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If this money were invested correctly, Cecil, we would have been able to give gainful employment, not employment. Gainful employment in the sense that they will be employed, they will have a gratuity if they make it to their, they will be able to pay their taxes, they will be able to go to the banks and come on their loans, land be available to them so they can think. But only 70,000 people, and the amount of money that pass through the country right in our eyes, and our majority speech in Dominica is social programs. That is why I say, so I don't say in social programs in itself is not good. I say we wouldn't need social programs, but the level of social programs have in Dominica there, people have to be paid to take care of their mother, take care of their father. When it have Mother's Day, it's part of that making a thing and bring for Mother's Day. You can even afford to make your mother thing, bring and eat a dinner, something thing. Let's be serious. Don't mix it up and talk about I say social program all in itself is not good. Okay,
I did not say that.
No, but I talking to the caller, Cecil.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, but when you look at the amount of people that benefiting on the social programs is majority of the population, then it have a problem. Because for there to be a democracy, a good democracy, your middle class have to be empowered, they have to be educated, and they have to be able to know, to vote, to choose between 2 or 3 parties. And when I say parties, I don't mean political parties, but persons that have an ideology, same ideology, but different ways in bringing about that ideology. And the ideology I'm talking about is development, progress, not digress. So don't twist my words and make people believe, well, because they're on an NEP, I don't talking them, or because they reason why I don't talking them. I talking to the government, to the administration. You cannot be surviving, running a country on majority is social programs. Majority is freeness for
Take your time.
for popularity. Okay, freeness, free healthcare, free education, free housing, free this. All the countries you guys talk about, they have cash cow. Unfortunately, France cash cow was in the Africas. Empower enslaving the Africans to make their citizens look good. America again have their cash cow, they have their oil reserves, they have all the things. What do we have in Dominica? If the passport fall, how do we maintain the social programs when the money should have been invested in upgrading our standard of living in the country, as to at the time when it goes slow or the passport program fall, that we could be able to hold our strains, hold ourselves.
Someone's on the telephone for a while. Good evening to you, caller.
Yeah, good evening to you, Cecil, and good evening to you, Brain.
Good evening. It's a pleasure having you tonight.
Yes, I was listening. I just tuned in and I was just listening. And I've listened to the debate also on Wednesday.
It was not a debate, it was a discussion.
Yes, a discussion, not a debate. Thanks for the correction. I know Mr. Boston is very passionate about it.
He's very passionate.
That's great. But when he talks about sustainable jobs, and if the money was invested in the right areas, that's a fallacy. We have seen what's happening around the world, and that is not the first time a government has tried. UWP came in power. They tried financial sector. They tried it in that, and they did try it. Every 6 months or 3 months, they would have gotten a bank, and that bank would crash. So every 3 months, the persons that were working in that bank had to be looking for something else to do, and I know that for a fact, because I had somebody working in banking during when they had the offshore, and every time I had to be the one pulling up that person, because we could not make. I took a mortgage, and every time I had to go back and had to refinance because the person did not have a salary. We had children. So, when people talk, they have to be real about what they're talking about. When you talk about you take the NEP and you put them on a farm, my brother, do your homework. The NEP, which are individuals, young people, they do not want to go on any farm to work. And that has been tried already. They have asked them. Some of them, I will give you the answer for that. They are not going on any farm to help anybody to produce anything. They do not want to go there. All right? So it's not a matter of directing them and it's like you just pushing them to do something. People are given an opportunity. The NEP is a program that is utilized across the military. It is a national employment program. And you have people working beautifying, and you have people working in the offices. You have people working in the private sector, helping out the private sector. So, you have to be real when we're talking about those things, And, it's not every day, it comes around. The government has been really trying. I know you're passionate, and I listen to you. I know you, as you said, you were around with Timothy, and you did a lot of roads and so on. But times have changed. Things are changing globally. Everything is different, and we have to sit and you have to understand that we are getting things in Dominica that we're not even paying taxes for. Under the Freedom Party and under the UWP, every single thing we got, we have to pay for it. We cannot even point to one thing that the banana industry did for Dominica. Not one. And we made millions of dollars from the banana industry. The only building standing is the DBMC. And yet still the government still have to bail out the DBMC and pay for that building.
So we have to be grateful when we're getting things done by the CBI program and the NEP. I mean, maybe we have room for improvement. You can say that. We have room to do better in doing certain things, maybe managing certain things. But when it comes to farming, we have to find another way. Young people do not want to go and farm for anybody else. Okay, thanks a lot. I'm listening to you.
Cecil, do you have?
Yes, I just want to ask. Someone said to ask you this question on Facebook. They said I would love to hear his views on bidding for projects such as housing and roads.
Like my views on bidding for housing and roads.
Yes, that's what someone asked.
What I know about bidding for housing and roads, a lot of times the government finds itself into contract like this. I always know negotiating is important, but a lot of times the criteria to be able to bid a lot of the projects in Dominica way surpasses that of the average contractor in Dominica, and that is what I have a problem with the government. You cannot put something outside of your scope of your people within the country. It has to be within the scope. I truly premise to talk about coming together and bidding on projects like as units, and we seen that happening. But I'm trying to understand how it is that a project saying you have to show that you make 5 million, 6 million for the years to be able to bid on a project, and I mean that not our kind of a life. In Dominica, we don't have that kind of a finance for the past of the times. Okay, we have to make it in a way that we can develop our industry, our people in the country. Okay, if you go in and negotiate with an external financial system and a financial institution that go into administer the program, and you'll see what they go in let me make sure I get my
thoughts.
The criteria to be able to bid on the project, and you see it way surpassing that of your local men. You have to tell them, no, you cannot have a bid going on in your country, and after you have two for bid. You don't necessarily have to go to them.
I'll come back to that. Someone's on the phone for a while. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, good evening, Cecil, Brain, and to your guest.
Good evening.
Listen to the program. I want to make a comment about the social program. My friend, Mr. Boston, tell me one country in this world that doesn't have a social program.
Same thing over and over again.
No, because that's a very important and sensitive subject. There is none. Every country in the world has it, right? And then you made a point about Dominica have a very small population, right? And that is why it is even more important, because with that small population, we cannot raise a lot of taxes. We do not have gold, we don't have oil, we don't have minerals, right? We have a well-run CBI program, which has served us very, very well, right? And to say that infrastructure doesn't benefit the residents of the North is very ignorant, right? You call
me names very bad.
He didn't call. He said no. He said
okay.
He didn't call you. He said he's very ignorant to say that.
I can throw the comment too.
All right. Okay.
right. Do you understand the key role that this school is going to play in the North? Not just a school, a center of excellence, right? It is going to give our children an opportunity,
skills
to succeed. Okay. So I mean, yes, you have the ambition of being a representative, to a power rep. My friend, you have to educate yourself and understand, the issues of politics. And lastly, in this very difficult world, right? It's worse than before. You see what's happening in this world, right? Dominica is a very small country, right? And when we have a CBI that can build an international airport for us, give us a marina, give us a cable car project, give us geothermal, build our roads, our schools, our health centers, send our children to school, pay for healthcare for our people, my friend. This is a very important, and everybody in Dominica cannot get a job with the government, right? That's why the NFP is important. Okay? So we have to appreciate the CBI. We have to appreciate what the government has done with it. All right? I can go forever, but just to say this. We have to be careful how we speak about these things. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Cecil, I need to say something there.
Go ahead.
Because I see a lot of your callers come in and give the analogy that the interpretation of what I'm saying is that I totally write off the social programs. I am saying when your majority of your people in a country is on the social programs, there is a problem. So do not tell me that every have social programs. I know that. Okay, and I just saying we always have had social programs in the past. We had CCF, we had why the local thing we have when we are helping people. So we always have had social programs. But to the extent of the so-called programs presently, when I sit down in Dominica and I watching a lot of foreign people making real money in Dominica, they working, doing gainful employment. I didn't say of a sustainable employment. I talk about gainful employment. People can be employed and they can make money. They can save money. They can send their children to school. They can pay their bills. They can pay taxes and continue to live. So I know I have my voice may be funny, and I know maybe because of my
your
passion, it's coming out a little bad. But don't come to me and say like I crying down the social programs. But I will say to you, when I look at the landscape of the economy in Dominica, the money being spent in Dominica, and majority of Dominicans are on social programs, I will and forever burn fire on the government because they should have invested.
Let's go to the telephone.
This money better.
Let's go to the telephone. Good evening to you, caller.
Hello, good night.
Good night. Good evening.
Good evening.
To the panelists and also your guest, Mr. Boston.
Good night, my brother.
Yes, I'm calling from Roosevelt, and I'm very disappointed with the lies Mr. Boston is making there. First of all, give me a break. First of all, he said that the majority of Dominicans on the social program, and that is a blatant lie. Okay? Now, when I evaluate what they had there in the auditorium on
Wednesday.
Tuesday, was it on Wednesday? When I evaluate the level of intelligence, Miss Ashma McDougall, I'll give her A+. I would give Danny 0-. I'm nothing for Mr. Boston. And Mr. Boston,
yes,
I'm hearing people of the rural north, especially the people of Simon Bolivia, they need their community center for them to be able to bring people in the community center so then they can interact to make stuff from the better. Okay? And thirdly, you, Mr. Boston, you lost your deposit. Trust me. So if I was you, also you're talking, but if I was you, I would never go nominate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller.
Clearly, Mr. Lapawol, thank you. I appreciate your views, but that is your views. Okay? Thank you very much. But I want you to meet me and tell me where you see majority of Dominicans employed.
No,
I want you to tell me.
He asked a question.
He tell me I lie blatantly.
Yes,
that majority of Dominicans not operating on a social program. It's not housing by there. It's NEP by there. It's Yes to Care by there. When you put it together as a lump sum, as one lump sum, the majority of Dominica is operating on a social program. Free health care, free education. So Dominica turn to CCF then. Dominica turn to a socialist place, just social. What are you talking about, Lapawol? Come on, put sense in your head, man. Put sense in your head. I mean, you can tell me.
No, but you see, what the caller is actually saying, are you saying that all the teachers, because you talk about majority, all the teachers that are employed for both private and public are under the NEP? What percentage of them that are under the NEP? What percentage of people that are, let's say, PH Williams that are working at PH Williams? What percentage of NEP workers that are actually employed at DCP? And that's what the caller is trying to say, because you're not saying to the caller, well, when I talk about the majority, I'm talking about people who are doing maybe cleaning and that kind of thing. You're saying majority of the workers are
Cecil, you see,
I just want you to be
right
clear.
there finish to you. Just don't start
Let's
fast.
take another call.
I telling you, majority of Dominicans are under a social program in one way or the other. I didn't put it specifically to NEP alone.
Okay.
I tell you, yes, we care. Housing revolution, free healthcare. It's a vast area.
We go to the telephone, but you have the caller ask your question, and I think you need to answer. So I will come back to it in a while. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, Cecil. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Brain.
evening. How are you?
Good
Hey, good evening. Nice seeing you again. Yes.
Hi.
Nice seeing you again.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Your question to Mr. Boston?
Good. Yes, Mr. Boston.
How you doing?
Let me say that I am good. How are you?
I'm good, trying my best, trying for my community and my constituency.
Yes, I see that, and I am hearing you. But I really admire your audacity to be running as an independent candidate. And because of that, you are going to get blows.
Oh, well, thank you.
But you have to be strong.
Thank you.
You have to be strong. You are speaking your mind. And I concur with a lot of what you are saying. As far as I heard you during the discussion, it's like you want us as a people to come together.
Thank you very much.
Right? There is too much division in a little island that is less than 70,000 people. You know? And I mean, I don't live at home, but I know of a lot of what is going on. From the time I left home to now, it's like Dominica has gone back. You know, I'm not saying there has not been progress in certain areas, but I also see a dependency syndrome.
I see it too, God.
Our young people should not... Young people graduating from high school can't find a job, so they have to be cleaning the streets or doing whatever. No. There should be jobs for the children. They are the future of the island. How are they going to provide for themselves if they cannot find jobs? They will go on drugs, they will shoot each other, and this is what is going on too, you know? But I really admire you. You understand?
Thank you, Miss.
No,
I
have
appreciate
another
that.
question.
Yeah.
You are welcome. I have another question for you. I believe you said earlier that you were supporting the ruling party at one time, right?
Right.
Okay, so my question is, what made you detach from the party to be an independent candidate?
So to answer, we should make you finish and answer, Go ahead, answer.
No, I think she asked you both questions, right?
Yes,
Two questions you had, right?
Yeah.
So
Because
she make her
Yes,
comments and she asked me a question.
yeah, she asked your question.
I'm
Thank you.
asking you, what made you detach yourself from the ruling party to be an independent candidate?
Well, if I'm listening to the program as I've seen before, I see what young men have to be going
Just hold on.
through.
That's it, caller?
That's it?
Yes,
Thank you.
Cecil, that's it for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So go ahead.
Thanks for your contribution, caller, because for at a certain time I thought everybody come to bombard me like everybody come to give me words, and
No man busted,
I
man.
like your neutrality. Okay? But as I tell you from the past, what I have seen in life, the dangers I walk in life, and the things I have observed we do as young people when our backs are against the wall, and within the administration, within this government, we have had enough time with the Labour government, enough time to make the country better, to make people's lives better. Okay? And at a certain point in time, I know people can be making a mistake. They can be doing things that not really what they want to do, but through certain circumstances. So then you have people on the ground to help you. But what I've observed with the Labour Party, that anybody that have a moral judgment on the aspect of what's going on, they put you at double arm's length. They don't want you wrong. And anybody that looking to snatch and grab and thing. So I couldn't be in that congregation.
I'll come back to you, Boston. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, good evening. I want you to extend that program to all constituencies because I call in from the Roseau South. And right now, there are 3 potential candidates. To be honest, and because now Shakira say 2019, give her a chance, and when any child over the age of 21, they will get a lump sum and it's almost 10 years now. And I just calling on the Prime Minister that if he put back Shakira for the rep for Roseau South, I don't want to say wicked, but I will have to say wicked. So extend the program for all candidates and constituencies. I am waiting with bated breath for the Roseau South section to give my views.
Thank you.
We have no representation.
We are on Roseau North. We are on Roseau North. We are not on Roseau South.
I know exactly. I didn't go to Alpha Center.
Brother, we are on Roseau North.
Exactly. So I was telling you, extend that to Roseau South because I have to say what I have to say because Roseau South has no representation.
We on Roseau North.
Thank you.
We on Roseau North.
The Savannah is like Jurassic Park. We have no representation. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Right. Let's go back to the telephone again. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Cecil Joseph. What I find is that when I ask certain questions or I make certain comments, please let Mr. Boston elaborate.
No, that's what I told him. That's what I told him, caller. That I make all the voice.
But you all did take other call, did take the lady, and then the lady come after.
No. That's what I said to him. That's why I said to him, if you listen to me very carefully, I said to him that you ask a question and I'd come back to him so that he could ask you, so that he could answer your question. So I know that you call in reference to the community center. Boston, I'm sure that's what he called to ask again. So,
and also, I'll tell you something. Is greediness that
No, we're not going that route, caller.
No.
No, caller, we're not going on that route. Sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. I won't allow.
We wouldn't allow
that. I mean, while someone might say that's your opinion,
My back, I can take it.
No.
I can take it.
So Boston, he did make mention about
the community center.
Yes.
Yeah. I can take the greedy because when we like handles and we lazy. That's why we just empower social program and social strategies. Now, if you had listened to me at that panel discussion, I explained about the community center.
Boston, I understand your response to the gentleman, but I don't think it is accurate to just say that people are lazy.
I don't say he might talk to. He just call me. He call me greedy. I call him lazy.
All right.
I think he call Gong there.
All right.
All right. I'll put him.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, but if you listen to me in the panel discussion, you would have seen that I had addressed the community center because the community center is documented that the land where we have the playground, we had transferred the community center land because the community thought there was an ample space. So because of the community and the committee of the day going back and forth with the government, they transferred that area. They took the area of the community center where presently we're talking about, and they transferred to that big piece of land. Presently, where they put a park, they never had time to build a community center there. And even over the years, we even had plans to put a community hall in the development at the said netball stadium. So all that time I was part of it, I was wrong. So I know what I'm talking about. But it's okay for you to say to the people of Stock Farm, make noise with me for the community center. But remember, and to remind you, Mr. Lapawol, you make noise for the community center as a worker supporter, with workers supporting against me and talk about community center, not knowing the facts. Now you guys do it as labor rights, not talk about the community center, because we talk about development, but development from a government aspect. You call it greedy. I develop myself over the years. I have a car rental there. Imagine today I'm not there and my 25 vehicles spread across Simon Bolivar. Imagine the chaos it's going to create. So whilst we're talking, they're trying to create rhetoric for political discussion and political party preference and whatever it is okay. But let's just stick to the point that we talk about development, and I developed that piece of land to what it is today. We watch it nice and dandy. But it stayed there for years as an area for thieves, for a lot of things, smoking of crack cocaine, and the neighbors can tell you. And when I come, before I got there, that place was passed on to 3 different hands before me. Okay? And I was the only person that went in and invested my money in that piece of land. Today we pass and watch it and talk about community center for politics. You see how we weaponize against each other? But that is okay. I can live with that my backlash. But the community center area is down in Simon Bolivar, where they repossess that land from Baltazar and give it back to the community. Okay? And if you want to look up documentation, you can find it. You can go and find out.
Any questions for him?
So I come and ask you a question there now. I say that I'll get reading on your telephone line there, making labor rights a loan call with all, but anyway.
That's me talking about, me talking to?
No, man.
But anyway, when the lady call, I could sense the neutrality in the situation.
No.
And even if I come there and it's labor rights and they want to blast me, not a problem. One thing I can tell...
Caller, sorry. Buster and I wouldn't agree with your statement. It's not a jovial matter, and I don't think I would take it as a joke. The telephone rings, there's no number on the phone.
It was a
people
joke.
call.
The Lakou get serious now then.
No.
And I start to talk the politics.
No.
But you tell me the Lakou can't think.
No,
I said I was about to say it and then the lady
you said it. No, you said it.
No, I said I was about to say it, but then the lady called and I could see the neutrality in her, so I can't say it again. But it was meant to be a joke. It wasn't meant to be a joke, because even if labor rights can keep calling, what I just want to just tell people...
Let's go a bit to the whole bidding process.
Yes.
You're making the point that the bidding process in negotiation can be difficult for the locals.
Right.
But I heard you, I think, on Wednesday, making mention that you were given to build some 34 houses.
and you said that
you said no, because you're talking about the bidding.
Yes,
and you said that the bidding can be very difficult for locals.
The criteria.
No, would the criteria
be allowed to build?
No, so would the criteria that was given
for the World Bank project?
For the World Bank project, was it
something? The World Bank project was an underpaid job. Everybody know that. There was the maximum bid was 125, and they was giving it initially. Was given to the job to the lowest bidder. When the maximum of the bid was even enough to build the houses. So that is very unfair to even put that in discussion.
No. I'm not talking about the level of the bid. I'm talking about because you did not explain what the bid is about.
No, I tell you the criteria. To be allowed to be
right. The criteria would the criteria include that of how much money that would be required to build the apartments or the house?
With the criteria to bid. In which aspect you talking about? Because what we did with the World Bank, you can consider that in the bidding world, you know.
Why not?
Because when you have a bid for a project, there's a pricing for the project. If you take the bill of quantities they give you for the World Bank, and you would go to the government system in Dominica and you put in the government rates, you would come out to what, $230,000 to build that house.
That's hold that thought. Let's go to the telephone quickly. Good evening to you, caller.
Fireman again, I'd like to cut the mission what I have to say, because that's the constituency.
So you see, caller, you see, Boston? Yeah, it is the caller saying that I cut in him. Go ahead.
Let me say what I have to say, because it's a serious case, not a joking going on there. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, caller.
There's not a supermarket or a restaurant or a car rental.
Make your point.
When you make my point, when you're in the conference, I'm not saying how much in your thing.
Make your point.
I'm not much in your brain, and you know better.
Don't make noise.
Right. Don't let me know well.
Yes.
Even when the lady call about, you see that bad guy or what? Let me tell you something, Man must stay 50 years in government in our country, right? Workers stay 4.5 years. Last time I tell you something, I travel in. Nobody get anybody. I don't go back to. I just stamp in and stamp out. There is no way in the world that have no country running or functioning and do have a good seaport and a good airport. For the past time, this country like a village, not even a country like a village, because why? As you just say, we have nobody because why? Things not happening in the sense that the way the country functioning, Rasta man, all they are going foreign. You know, government are doing so much things, you know. The people and them have come from overseas with the money. They're developing and they're centralizing and organizing, they're creating jobs for even for the people and for whosoever. What is the government doing? That is not happening in Dominica. In Rivernicas, I would say get it straight. You know what I'm telling you? And when you get it straight right now, Rasta man, when you start country going to open as a countries, when you get an international airport, tell you what like that. All them and talking the garbage about whosoever. All them people are working there. Think if you have 300 children graduate from college, all of them can employ in the country. But which country in the world can still happening? Not in America, nowhere. Let's get it real. You can have not even 50 children having graduated and you have all of them getting employment. Let's get it real. The problem we have right in your Rasta man, even that contact any person as man, I know you well. But there is no way I'm going to take my time and vote for as an independent and I have a problem with that. Tell you
that is okay, Cecil.
No, I respect you. No, I tell you, man, because I tell you, I love energy. I know you well. Listen to me. No, listen to me.
Yes, that is okay.
No, listen to me, Rasta man. As you say, there are a lot of problems. I know my problem, you know. I know that country. I know what you want. We need somebody, Rasta man. that can work with the people, the first class, the second class, and the last class. And the only person I can do that right now, the Rastaman, tell you like that, is Ashma. Trust me, not nobody else. And the only way it's going to happen, she got to do it by herself. Even you have to be on board with the government because you know a lot of things in all the areas well and truly. And you saying things, and my brother, you know for a fact, most of the whole thing you achieve in your life is under the Labour family. Including the same, because even the same way you have a rental there, as you say, was in the community. Even if it was important to fix and say all kind of things happening, but never can true. But you know, it's good to fix as a community person. You could still fix it as a person if you consider the constituency, as you say, you have very little money. Because remember, as you say, politicians put their money outside, you know. The government have to do everything. Listen a little bit, just like
you understand, I gave an explanation a while ago about the area, the communities, and they come back with that. We've been redundant, we go over the same thing over and over again.
No, stop. You're talking about handout. It's still handout because why you didn't build it, don't belong to you. If you are a community person, you want to help the community, you could use your same money, as you say, and organize it, prepare it, and give it to the people to use it to benefit the people. Same way it isn't going to be benefit to go to your rental. So it gets a real Rastaman. Most of it is a reality. I'm a Rastaman like you said, you know. I'm a fireman. I forget it straight. It wasn't your money that built it. The same as a community person. You work in the community whatsoever. You could use your same money because it's the benefit of the constituency and for the people. Because you could use it. Well, that's why they have nothing happening. Because why? They could use that their community center to organize the programs, to organize the social program, different things. Let's get it real. So when you take it up for your rental, let me to concern about the people, Rastaman. Stop that.
Say so.
Stop that, Rastaman. And before I roll out, me tell you something, brother, I respect you, I honor you. All what you said there is great. But the only way you can develop that constituency there, you have to come on board with Ashma when Ashma win the by-election, right? Because our government in power, I don't see, no matter what people say, no matter no sense. No opposition can do nothing in that constituency with the tongue. They can say a lot of things. Is mouth talk, action is one. Mouth easy to talk, but action is the most important thing. And people can't do things by talking, to that thing by action, Rastaman. Get it straight, right? Let's get it straight, Rastaman. When that international airport built, when everything has to be in function, have to be up and running before I go out, that country needs more people. That's why it's like that too. We need more people in that country, Rastaman. You don't have enough people there. You know that for a fact. You check in, up and running again. Fireman when I call again because I listening because that is my constituency and you can't stop me, bro. You can't follow something you will get nothing. Get it straight.
Thank you. So that is Cecil Joseph. Cecil, you got that. That's Cecil.
Hold on. Another caller. Okay, go ahead.
Cecil, Cecil, let me say something.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Based on the caller, the other Cecil, two Cecil you have tonight there. Cecil is saying that the only way they can do with the government, but we have been in the government. So Cecil, tell me what you're saying. If you're saying that the people, the Labour Party had there in place, they were incompetent, just say it. I mean, don't worry about who feelings you hurt. Say the caretaker that government Miriam Forsyth was an incompetent monkey, and say the
no, caller, no, please. You're not going to insult people. No, please. You all have good evening to your caller. Good evening, caller.
If that is our opinion.
No, good evening to your caller.
Good evening, yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Good night. Listening to your program, I wasn't going to call tonight because they still always like to block me when I ask questions.
Make your call.
But let me tell you, I listened to Mr. Boston earlier. I wasn't going to call. But I have 3 or 4 questions for him. One, the first question is whether he knows what year that the community center was built and the purpose it was built for. And also, I also want him to tell me when was the land which now occupies the playground, when was it handed over or made available for our community center? As far as I know, I was involved in the fencing of that community center. I got wires from the Port Authority, and I had applied to the past cabinet secretary, Mr. Gregoire. And they, in conjunction with the former Port Authority, not Mr. Pinard, they were doing some fencing and the extra wires was handed over to the committee, the Stock Farm Improvement Committee. And we were the first set of people who fenced that area going down across to Mr. Arundel Thomas. If Mr. Arundel Thomas is around, he can justify that. Now that community center, we were having meetings there. Up to when I left, we were having meetings there. It was being used as a community center. We had meetings, and the proposal was to put an extension to that community center, whereas it could be used as a preschool and daycare. That was the original plan. But apparently, suffice it to say that after I left, that the plans for there was not did not come true. The playground he's talking about, that same playground, I worked at housing during that day. Julius Timothy wanted to, on the plan for Stock Farm, it is there as a playground, open space playground. But he wanted to use it and put it there, and there were some people, and he told Mr. Georges, who was then
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Up to now, on the plan for Stock Farm, which I have, as a former president of the committee, I have that plan. It is still an open space, and that is why the playground that was there, okay? We had tried putting something on there, but apparently what happened is that I think it's Pastor Sarah's church is the one who got the equipment. It was being used. Children all the way from Parish Pit and Yampies were coming there. It was being used as a playground, but apparently the proper maintenance of the area and the equipment, some of them rot, some of them are still there. It was not being maintained properly, so it stayed there. And right now, it's like a ghost town, because nobody goes there. Sometimes the NEP workers go there and clean it out, but not to what it should be. So I would ask you, Mr. Boston, when the if at all the community center, if it was sold, how it was sold, and if it was handed over to him, by whom, and to whom, and by whom did the playground, whether there is any document to show that the playground was to be used as the community center. Because as far as I know, up to just recently, as far as I know, it is still open space for a playground to be used as a playground. The equipment are there. It's just because it's not being maintained, that is why it's not being used. Okay? And the community center, I to be more specific, it needs to be more specific as to how he obtained the community center, whether he paid for it, if it was transferred to him, and what is the position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And I just want to tell that caller last week, I only said to you when you called and you asked Ashma that question, and to ask her to do an investigation, I told you that I don't think it is fair to ask Ashma that question. I felt that it was important to allow Mr. Boston to answer that question when he comes to DBS Radio. So I did not quote you. Do not leave persons who maybe just listening to the program today for the first time to think that I caught you. I just said to you very nicely that to allow Boston to answer that question when he comes to the program. And I'm happy that you're able to call to ask Boston that same question. Go ahead, Boston.
Answer what question, Cecil?
He asked you about in reference to the purchasing of the thing. If you purchase it, and if you do.
Well, that question you asked me there live on.
No. He asked you several questions.
I'll plead the fifth there. Anybody want to push me on that thing? What I want to tell you, Cecil, what is very, very striking to me, that to see that it had at a time the energy was focused at the community center as a political campaign by the United Workers' Party against the Labour Party. Presently, the community center is a political campaign by the Labour Party against an independent candidate.
I don't think. Hold on. I don't think that is very fair. I'll tell you why. All the guy did, the last caller did, was to ask you the question whether it was sold to you. He have not said that you purchased. All right. And the other guy who called. The other guy who called insinuated.
I was talking about people using that as a bully from both sides of the aisle.
Not here.
That is just very weird to me. But anyhow, they can continue.
No, I'm saying not here, right? Not on the program tonight.
On the program in the Labour Party meetings, because that's what they do in politics.
Okay.
Coming around and weaponize people against people. Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Paulo, when you used to come up there and rent vehicles by me and so forth, why you didn't tell me those things there? Why you waiting to come on a program or in a public forum to tell me that? When you used to come and check me up there and we used to reason, even Cecil used to come pull up there with me long hours and we used to talk. When Mr. Cecil Joseph used to find I was a brilliant fellow, but that time I was a liberalite. So at that time everybody was happy, nice and dandy. But you see how we just use politics to weaponize people in the community against each other. But we can continue. All I'll say on the thing, I can say tanto. Cecil, can I say that?
Let's go to the next caller. Good evening.
You pleaded the fifth.
Good evening.
You pleaded the fifth.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, we have another
good
caller.
evening. Sorry, good evening.
Another caller.
Yeah, I was just calling to talk. Mr. Boston, I don't know Mr. Boston. I am just here. I'm just listening. And in listening, I heard Mr. Boston talked about the social program. And he said, and everybody come on and said, every country have a social program, which is correct. Every country have a social program. But what he was saying, I don't think it was taken very well. I am not on anybody's side. But what he was saying, in my opinion, was there is a social program in Dominica, but to him, what I get what he was saying, the social program is the main program. There is nothing else for the young people. There is no development. Now, I was in Dominica in June 13, and I went and I looking at Dominica, and I'm asking myself, how comes Dominica is not as developed as I thought it was? Now, I saw some improvements, but I cannot understand how Roses still look like that. Every country you go to, you will see their city looking nice. You will see they have social program not you, but the city looking good. They are laughing, but Dominica, there is no the same old building, same old thing. I even see some that burn down and it's standing there now. I ask myself, why Dominica is the same? Why can't we have a social? The thing you're doing, I'm happy about the airport. I want the airport with all my heart, all my mind, because it will bring business in Dominica. But at the same time, the back and forth with each different party, back and forth. I don't know Dominica to be like that. I know we come as one, and even though we don't like that party, we're not supporting that party, we always get along. But I'm seeing a lot of back and forth, even when I was there. Now, one thing I have to point out is I come to this country to get a birth certificate, and when I went to they are telling me they don't have no paper to print it on. I was so amazed. And I said, so where is this development? I asked the lady, so you all don't know how to order paper in case you have to until it's finishing to order more. So those are the kind of things that man is trying to say. Where is the development? We had development when I was growing up. We had bananas. We had agriculture. We had stuff when I was a child. When I was a nurse in my country, we did a lot. There was development, but now I don't see none. So I understand what you say, Mr. Boston. What you're saying is, yes, there are social program all over the world, but they also have some other form of income. Like America have oil, they have gas and their oil, and some other places have tourism. You all talk about the French country. Even Guadeloupe is coming down. Guadeloupe was nicer when I was in there. Guadeloupe is not Guadeloupe no more. Social program, I understand somebody saying, is not always the one that works. We need other things to work with it. That's what I have to say.
Thank you for that caller. Thank you for that.
Let's take
another caller quickly.
Yeah. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I would like to ask Mr. Boston one question.
Go ahead.
I heard him say you have 25 cars. I want to ask him how many people in his area he has employed.
How many people?
How many people he have employed
At
in
my
that
place?
25 cars he have there?
Okay, I have.
From his area.
That's it, caller?
About 4 or 5.
Pardon me?
About 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
So you're not sure? 4 or 5?
4 or 5, depending on how you look at it, because it's not like permanent, because steady employment, because with the rental, it's seasonal. It's not always a high. So, about 4 or 5. We have an accountant, we have the mechanic, maintenance, we have a cleaner, we have a vehicle cleaner. We have about 4 or 5.
All of them from your area?
From my area, yeah.
Okay, that's nice. But let me tell you, you're involved in the building industry.
Yes, sir.
And you know the challenge in employing people. You know you're employing young people, creating employment. But it's like young people don't really want to work in Dominica. You know we have a lot of foreigners coming to Dominica. Jamaicans, Guyanese, Cubans, there's other people from Santo Domingo. And all of them working on projects in Dominica, and Dominican young men don't want to work here.
I don't agree with you on that, but anyway, not a problem.
Yeah, that is how it is. They really want to work.
That is your opinion.
Generally, young men in Dominica, they really want to work.
But I think that is your opinion.
And that is one of the problems.
I think that is your opinion, caller, because if people want to work, why did have all that people working in the landscaping in NEP? Okay? If you come in Roton of now, you'll see a lot of young boys employed. Is an employment that come about because of the politics and because of the campaign. But they are working. So why are you saying they don't work when they always available to work when people looking for them to work?
Okay, listen to that. You see these short hours when you work in NEP? The short hours, they come 7 o'clock, and by 12 o'clock, they're at their home. They go in for that. But to work from 8 to 4, they don't really want to do that. You know that, man.
No, that is your opinion, because I do a lot of work in construction for the past years, and I never fall short of getting people. I always have more people that want to work than those I can employ.
Well, that is the first person in that industry I hear saying that.
All right, well, no problem.
I outside they're working in all building in Dominica, and the sentiment is that you cannot get people to work.
When you look at now, people employed with the NEP and the short hours, the attitude that pick up with people through the handouts and the thing, you'll almost say like we're killing the incentive of people to work. I think you should rather say it like that than say people don't want to work, because clearly people need money. That's it, caller?
Yeah, I will stop for now.
But Boston, I want to a certain extent agree with the caller. I want to talk about myself. I have been trying my best to get a young man or to get young people to do some level of the same landscaping that you're talking about, cutting grass at my house. And every time you ask somebody, I will come, and they never reach. Now, to cut grass by me, it's, as I can tell it to you very clearly, it's $200 that these people normally ask, whoever I get. But when I do my best to get people, it's so very hard, Boston, and you know that. So very high.
I don't know that.
You serious?
Cecil, I don't know that, Cecil. And Cecil, why we saying it like that attitude, even if it exists, like it just in Dominican?
No,
you only said people that don't want to work.
No, you said that you're not agreeing with the individual. That is his opinion. I'm telling you that there are people with a lot of experience that will tell you that this situation is existing. You have situations where guys go and come and do a job for you, a job that will be 2 weeks old, that's supposed to be 2 weeks, and the first day that they do the job, they tell you pay them. And you have had that experience too, Boston, where guys come to do construction with you, and when they finish on the first day, they ask you for their pay immediately.
No. I have a situation. Let me tell you, I have situations with me. When fellas come to work, they can say, boy, things so tight, my brother, from don't come work tomorrow. I gotta get an advance so I can make a breakfast and come to work and whatever it is because of the situation. And I try my best to help them. So Cecil, let us don't make it like Dominicans don't want to work. I'm not saying that Dominicans don't want to work. I don't want. If you give a man an opportunity to get money and do work or to work for money, what do you think he will choose?
According to the person that will choose work.
The person that will choose work.
Yeah, and they're supposed to choose. So there are two. On both sides, there are two.
So that means to say, right? That the persons that will choose to take the free money, like something wrong with them.
Let me put it that way.
I wouldn't say something wrong with them.
Boston.
No, I would not say something's wrong with them.
But why should it have? Why should it have a situation of people not working and getting money?
Because the society has always been like that, Boston.
Society has always been like that.
It's always been like that, Boston.
Or people don't work and get money.
We know there are, from time you raise and you know that there are people that wish that they were not working and getting money. We all know that.
Oh, right, not a problem.
Right, we all know that. And there are people that
you think it right for me to have a shop. And I join an NEP salary to be selling in the shop, my shop.
Let me put it that way.
That normal.
Let me put it that way. Cecil, before you take the call. When you study different Errol Miller and those guys writing about the Caribbean and even here in Dominica, many writers have written, we have a work attitude. We have a work attitude and we cannot deny it. The fact is that I know, for instance, in my instance where I've given guys $4,000 in advance and the guy never came to work. I've had it, give it to him, and he never delivered. And I also had to take my money from the guy, and he kept $1,000.
Okay,
so sometimes we have work attitudes.
Let me say something to you, Cecil. I do some work for HRP in Fonkole, in Stock Farm. I do work in Marigot. I do work all over. And I never had a difficulty. I always had some people that want to work, but not enough work to give them. I always had that. So I do. Let me tell you that in Fonkole, you know the young man talk about I belong up Pharaoh. And for you to see fellas, Fonkole man come from to be able to carry things up there, them and carrying them things up there, my brother. For and I tell them, man, you see the pay not enough. Honest to God, where you have to come and take the materials from to bring on the building site. But it always had fellas willing to do it and able to do it. So it is not fair to say that, but a battered people, abused people, sometimes you can understand why they're losing courage and faith in the system.
Let's take another call. Let's
go to another caller. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, I want to ask 2 quick points. The first point is, you see that NEP thing there, better to be honest, they just close that down because too much racketeering and corruption in that. It are people, and we all know that we are not to be hypocrite. That's why I tell you, Donty maybe not my friend, I know this friend, but I go to school with him, and he know me, I know him, and I tell him plenty of things the man saying is real. Back to the NEP, it are people that are prominent businesses in Dominica. They're paying them to employ people and still paying the person's salary, and their business is profitable business. And people that are working in the hot sun, they cannot get paid on time. When they make video, they have to apologize to things. All somebody can say, to be honest, in real, they're not getting paid. And 2 times, you see they counting money on the social media post. Oh, they get their money and they have to apologize. You like, for example, back then, 2 weeks, 3 weeks back, a woman also pray, oh, Scary Dennis Charles, and you see her apologize. You see in the run make it true, and people suffering and people praying, pretending. Too much racket in that NEP thing. Man don't working, riding up and down and drawing, and people, I know that NEP could never survive a day in that, because there's never ending poverty. And back to Palo now.
follow on to crucify the man about.
I'll call her. I'm sorry, I have to
sorry,
cut you.
you cut
I'm
you
not going. I'm not going to
You had
go.
to cut him off.
Please.
You had to cut him off.
I'm no. I'm not going to allow you to
not allowing.
call people name and have to. Please. That's not the
Please,
program for
that's
that.
not the
All right.
program.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, but Cecil, honestly,
Just hold on. Another
Another
caller.
call.
Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, hello, good night again. I end there saying that Dominican don't want to work. But there is a lot of work in Dominica because as I speak, the Roseau City Council need a lot of people to work. And right now, they are taking people that was working there already on contract. You understand me? And I mean, yes, I know that. And I build my house in Parish Street, a free apartment. And most of the people that work on my home is people that out of Parish Street. You understand what I mean? I get people from even in the countryside and come down and do my work for me, and none of them cannot say I win them. But it have work, in the island. Some people just want to sit down and get things, easy. But by the sweat of thy brow, man shall eat bread. You understand? But you see, the thing is that sometimes when you talk reality, it does offend certain people. So, however, I would glad be that next Lakou program with Mr. Luge, my very good friend, would be better than that.
Well, I don't think. To be quite honest, I don't think Danny Luge will come onto the program because I wrote to him on Monday, requesting of him to be on the program tonight. I called him on Wednesday. He said he would have returned my call. I called him on Thursday, and I called him on Friday, and I sent him a message on Friday afternoon. To this present day, I'm still waiting on a response from Mr. Luge. So I don't think Mr. Luge is interested.
He will come.
You think so?
He will come.
Well,
I'll tell you why he'll come.
Yes, tell me.
Because why? He copied a lot of my newcoming pal the ideas. So then he will copy the ideas. Okay? That is actual ideas. And he will come with because unlike last night on the next program, the program last night, and also on last week Wednesday, he will come and Danny will come and have no fear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have another caller.
I wish that Danny. I really wish Danny would come to the program because, as I said, I'm giving all free candidates the opportunity, or proposed candidates, to come to the program and to speak of the upbringing like we did with Donty, and to have that discussion in an open way so that we can know not just their plans but how they see the constituency. Now Donty, let's go to the area of education. What do you make in terms of education in the constituency?
Well, when I speak of education, Cecil, I don't think of the basic education we're talking about. But if you want me to touch on that, I can touch on that with you. When I speak about education to me is when I say that in the terms of the aspect of living, the aspects of life, financial literacy, financial language, financial opportunities. Because I indicate to them a lot of the things I learn. And I learned that, and everybody look at me because I was in politics, and where I am now today, everybody attacking me, community center, rental, 25 transport story. But I mean, I apply myself in things I learn, and I seen that it's not prevalent to people on the streets, not privileged to this kind of education there. Why it is that people choosing to, they want to lead us, but they don't want us to educate us. Why it is that we keeping people's growth stunted just to protect our position. Why we don't want to expand
I want you to maybe expand on that because when I listen, I'm hearing annually from students who have finished their studies and students who are going and study. There are situations where we have heard people make mention in the public that government is owing certain universities a certain amount of monies. So why would you think that these individuals are not given the opportunity to be further educated at universities, to be more specific?
But it have universal education, university education level, and at what rate we have people going based on government, getting people to go and study. At what rate? What rate? Give me a percentage of the people leaving school that go in get opportunity through the government to go, because we like to talk about and boast that.
No.
Give me a percentage, Cecil, of people that have that opportunity.
I'm saying that the opportunity is open for every young person, and we have seen where the Ministry of Education has placed qualification or qualities that are required for students. Most times you're hearing the GPAs that they're asking for students to go out there, and we know that central government in its doings does give quite a lot of students that opportunity to go out there to get further education. And we know that.
Hang on, Cecil. Let me answer that question. I heard you say in terms of education. When I went to the college of which you went and attended, the Sixth Form College or the Clifton Dupini College, you did not have the amount of persons getting access to the college. Right now, you have almost 800 to 900 students at the State College. So from your time, there has been a great leap in terms of the number of persons able to access the college. So in terms of percentage, and you ask for percentage, you have over more than 100% of the students have access to tertiary education.
How much?
Over 100% of the students.
100% of the students
who would normally leave high school would have been able to access the State College. In the past...
So you're saying the college has space for every single child that leave high school?
Yes.
Right, but what Cecil was saying, I'm asking the percentage of, is how much persons after they finish the college that get the opportunity to go overseas, because that's what he was speaking about.
And I'm saying that quite a great
so then
great
ask you,
number.
give me a percentage, a great number.
No. I'm saying that I may not have the percentage in my head.
Yeah, but you can still.
But I can like you said earlier on, that you believe that there's a large number of persons or majority of persons who are, I think, in the NEP program. And you think that is not the best thing for Dominica.
So I'm saying to you,
and I'm saying to you,
a percentage, but my eyes boil my peas. So I can just tell you, majority, plenty.
Right. So I'm saying to you, I'm saying that to you, majority of students get the opportunity. Yeah,
Mr. Boston.
Majority. It's greater than what it was before. Once upon a time, we had one student going to that would have gotten government scholarship. One.
No, we have almost 10.
No, we have more than 10.
No, Mr. Boston. No, Mr. Boston, you asked for a percentage, but I want to give you a more specific amount in terms of, I don't want to just be rambling about it. For instance, when we look at the number of students who got access to go to universities in Cuba, that has almost gone by almost 200%. When we look at the number of students being able to access universities in the United States, that has gone up by almost 100%. When we're talking about students who are able to access, even from the college point of view, let us see, for instance, degree programs are now being able to be accessed, even at the State College. Do you agree that at the State College people do degree programs now?
Well, at the state college, from the level it was back then to now, you can kind of see it have an increase, and I would tread carefully with that.
So I would ask you to check.
I would tread carefully with that. But let me just say something based on your 200%.
Yeah,
if we have 4 people getting opportunity to go to college, and then it go to 12. That is 200%, just to make sure everybody understands how you see it. If we have 1 person and we have 3, that is 200%. So you say you're 200% there, strengthening your point there. I want a percentage based on the people out of college that get an opportunity. So if you say we have 900 go to college, give me a percentage based on the 900 people live in college per year that will get opportunity to go to
I wish that the Ministry of Education, officials of the Ministry of Education would be listening at this time, that they could maybe help us in this one. But I can tell you I don't have the figures, but we are aware. But we are aware, Boston, that a great number of students get opportunities out there,
to the university
and the government of Dominica does assist, does help, and we let's not play politics in that.
Yeah.
That's not politics.
We have another
that's not politics.
But Cecil, how come when I say certain things, just now, how come when I say certain things, all you just make it like I play in politics?
No, I'm not saying. Did I say that? I'm not. No, but I've never said that you play. I've never said, Boston. I've never said to you that you are playing politics. I'm saying to you now that my information that I have, and I know that you have, because you live very close to the State College,
right?
That quite a number of students who have gone to the State College have gone out there, and we have seen the great results that they have been able to bring back to us after they're through doing their university studies.
We have another caller, Cecil. Let's take another caller.
Good evening to you, caller.
Yes.
Good evening to you, caller.
Good evening, caller.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Just a little correction there, right? Let me tell you, I want Dante to believe that I have nothing against him, personal against him. It's things that came up while he was making his introduction or speaking, I heard, and because I know, that is why I responded. I wasn't going to call. But when I heard what was being said, I decided, let me call to give my own personal opinion of what I know. Because I live in Stock Farm. My home is in Stock Farm. And I know plenty about between the two locations that he spoke about. Okay? That is the reason why I call. And not only that, he is there with you. He must tell you that every time I come to rent his vehicle, I pay for it.
Okay? I never give indication that you don't pay for your vehicle, Nepalo. Don't do that, man. Let's not get tribal there. Let's not get no way. Only thing I was pointing out, Paulo, is that at a certain time, people are supporting the administration or supporting me in the place. And right now, because I vocal against the administration, people in the administration talking about me against in the place. And it's just kind of things politics creating. And this guy I come to fight against. I'm telling you. But it's not a problem, man, because it's a thing. That is a reoccurring thing. It always happened before. It happened in the past. It'll happen again. That is how we are. We check for our politics. We turn against people.
Hold on.
We turn against. Let me say that you deal because you call back. Let me get a chance to address you. Because as soon as you leave the call, don't next call.
Don't. He's calling. So let him just give his point, and then you respond.
When I respond to the next call. When I am at home, I see you every time. We stand up, we talk. I'm not against you, Dante, personally. It's because of what was said, I decided, let me respond. And there was one person who called and mentioned my name. I would really want to know what he's going to say. When I come home, he'll have to face me. Tell him to face me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Boston. I just going to read something from someone in St. Lucia. All right. The person says, Cecil, you cannot allow Mr. Boston to escape with that nonsense about more people are under social programs. The population is too small for taxation to run the country to satisfy the needs of everyone. He is here in St. Lucia. There is a specific office called the SSDF, the St. Lucia Social Development Fund, just to support social programs, and we have a much bigger economy. He is not sitting in government, so he is speaking from the outside looking in. I just wanted to say that to you. It's someone from
Yes, I agree with you. But with that other texter or caller again, don't try to misinterpret it, or don't try and say like they're crying down social programs.
I have never said that. I'm not reading what the person said.
I just seen the call and the caller comment because of quite few of them are calling and saying like I totally against social programs. Okay, I never say I totally against social programs. I never indicated that. What I am saying is that the dependency on social programs, it has become ridiculous. Okay. And the popularity we want to use the social programs for is even more crazy and appalling.
Okay, let's take another call. Good evening to you, caller. You're live. Sorry about that, caller. I'm really sorry about that. Yes. So, Brain.
Yeah, my mic. Yeah, I'm saying, for instance, when we look at the number of graduates that we get on an annual basis into the country, it is far superior than what we had before. So even if we cannot put a percentage on it, because I hate to put percentage, because one person can be 100%. So probably you want nominal data in terms of the number, because percentage, your maths man too, could be misleading.
Yeah, but Braden, the question I ask, based on the amount of students attending and leaving the college, what percentage of that gets an opportunity to go to university?
Well,
that is the easy one.
Yeah, you're talking about
that
numbers.
That is the easy one. Because that's what Mr. Said indicated, and that's what I asking the percentage about. Because we have a base amount of people, we're saying, how much people go into the college? Right, so if we say 900, 2,000, what percentage of that 2,000 that leave the college that will get an opportunity to go to get further education?
Further tertiary education,
right.
University.
So
that we will give you, but the percentage, I prefer to give numbers than percentage in terms of that amount.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's money percent will be equal to the same thing. It's not a problem. So we have a big amount of people already that already live in this school.
Good evening.
But Cecil,
good evening to you, caller. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Boston.
But Cecil, you see, that is something I want to have my platform on, because you see how it go in the country. Either you're red or you're blue, and those kind of things, and people starting to dislike you or like you or dislike you. So what you take away the independence of people will never go forward, because for people to be with you and to not attack you like that, you have to be on their team. How is it so your team always correct, your team always right, everything? And you see, it's strange, because every time I hear the Prime Minister talk, he always talking about we need our hands on deck. He coming to forward all hands on deck, but he want all hands on deck on the Labour Party. We don't call for all hands on deck based on developing our country, all of us together. So it's like submit to Labour Party, and Labour Party had 26 years. And if a man say he don't want to go in that, we're supposed to respect him. Because after 20 years, he have a track record there. That's people imagination, Cecil. Okay, we're trying to make an imagination to make people understand, like, yes, it was all nice and dandy, but the track record there from 2000 to 2026 for the amount of things that happen, from mytradedominica.com, from the CBI rise, from the buildings in thing, from the people with the diplomatic passport, from right now America closed their doors, from right now Europe closed their doors. We even talking as supporters of the administration saying we don't need America, we don't need Europe. You see how we unfair? Because why? If it's an independent, I don't know your supporters. If it's an independent country, we're supposed to independently choose to go where we want.
But Boston, why would you, Boston? Why would you make that statement? And I'll tell you why. In everything that we do, we have people who have their sides. They might be biased towards what they say. They might be correct to what they say. Why would you think that a person not supposed to defend the side that they are on, like you're now doing, because you're actually defending your side. You're actually defending what you believe in. So it's not fair to another person who has his own independence and who has his own opinion. No.
But what I say, Cecil?
I heard what you said.
When Cecil Joseph and Brains and Paulo and Lapawol and the things they're talking about now, if I am a Labour with a red shirt, they're talking a different tone. That have a little mentality in it. That have a little mental problem.
No.
Hey, let me talk. Let me say that. Because
so when you went to St. Mary's Academy, did you talk to Brother Jimin and say to Brother Jimin, I think 7 years is the best church?
Did I tell him 7 years?
Could you tell him that?
Could I tell him 7 is the best church?
Yes.
I don't
the best religion.
The comparison in that.
No, the comparison is if you're an Adventist, you expect to be speaking Adventism.
No.
That's the point I'm making to you.
Yeah, I see. So then basically right or wrong is based on who that doing it.
No, not right or wrong. It's as I said to you, it's your own independence.
No, Cecil,
your own independence has given you.
I'm saying to you, if I am with the Labour Party and the things people talking about now, they would have said, nobody don't do that because he's at the right. Don't do good in his team. Let him business grand thing. And now because I not support the party, your tone just changed just so. Cecil, we spreading hatred, and Cecil, all we need to look at that.
I like I like the pronouns that you use. Good evening to you, caller. You're live.
Hello, hi.
Good evening.
To Cecil and Brain and your guest.
Good evening.
Good evening, miss.
I'm just wondering what your guest understands by going to university. Because that no longer means packing your bag and going off to UV campus.
You can stay home.
Or Trinidad or US.
You can stay
You can stay home.
So maybe what you could do is do an assessment of the number of graduates that we have from
Yes, that's what I'm
UV Open Campus right here in Dominica, where people get an opportunity to remain at home with their family and graduate with their degrees and their masters and their whatever. And it's quite a number, I can assure you.
Yes, that's true.
Caller, thank you for that. But caller, the point I was making to Mr. Joseph, he said that opportunities created for us to go. So that's why we're using the go and further education. We know you can stay home and educate yourself. We know we have universities around. Some people went to All Saints. Some people went to even Ross University, right on land and whatever it is. But he made the point that the opportunities for us to go abroad. So that's why I was hitting the nail on the hammer like that. So it's not necessarily me. The point was opportunities created for people to go abroad, and then we elaborated on that statement from Mr. Joseph.
Let's go back to the telephone. Good evening to you, caller.
Hey, Cecil.
Good evening. Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. All right. Mr. Boston.
How you doing,
very
sir?
passionate discussion. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I understand your passion. But you seem to be focused on a certain aspect of the economy, and then the other parts of the economy or other aspects or components that contribute to the economy. Are you familiar with the digital economy? Do you know what that is?
Am I familiar with the digital economy? Well, at present, the pressure we face in it's even difficult to think of the digital and this kind of thing. But yes, I've been exposed to it. Okay, right now, since 2019, in the advent of COVID, we move into a digital economy. We have a digital economy ministry. So yes, to a certain extent, it's not something that I really look into passionately, because I just touching on the basics. I from the ghetto, and I touch on the basics, things to impact people's lives. When I talk about the economy, because for me, an economy, not the amount of money spent in a country, is about the amount of money circulating in a country. So I talk about the economy from that aspect. Okay, sir?
Yeah, but a digital economy contributes to that. So while you're looking on the ground and you're looking at people doing either manual work or whatever work they're doing, the digital economy is thriving in Dominica. I don't know if you look at Facebook or your social media, that is your digital economy content. So the people that are coming, I'll give you an example, the bike fest that they're having this weekend, that's a digital part of the digital economy. That's money circulating. If you have people calling all the way from Miami, New York, Brazil, that's money that's flowing into the country. And because a caller earlier said that we don't have a large population in Dominica, the additional people from the digital economy, from all the shows that we have, from from World Creole Festival, all these are part of the digital economy. That puts money in Dominicans' businesses and Dominicans' people's pocket and in their hand. You may not see it flow, but somehow indirectly it flows to the people that you're talking about. So you have to take that into consideration and not just look at one aspect and look at a political, the political component and how it affects you, and in terms of voting and in terms of the people around you. Just broaden it up a bit and include everything that contributes to the economy. All right? Peace and love, brother.
Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But if you're aware, I just talk about all these events contributing to the economy. I rent cars, so I will have appreciation for that, sir. And then I'll have appreciation for the money, the direct foreign investment into the country. Okay? But as I saying, we on Rosonoff, we on the ghetto life, we on opportunities for my people in Fonkole, in Tarish Pit, in Gotter Village, in Pottersville, in Louisville, in Center Rumor, all, you know what I'm saying? So we're looking for practical, because over the years, as I said, the track record is there. Okay, we can see all what that the economy bring in, quote unquote, and we can see how it impacts in their lives. And I don't know why, because we're supporting a certain administration, that we have to just kind of ignore the fact of the trouble on the ground. But yet still in our campaign, we come in our campaign and we're saying, well, our candidate will deliver. So that means it has something that needs to be delivered. So don't tell me that I myself looking at something in a nutshell, because we are talking about a nutshell, and in the same administration, the same government people, they saying with their own tone that our candidate will deliver. The question is, why haven't the candidates, or why haven't the government delivering, why haven't the impact haven't reached on the lives of the people of these communities? And I can go further to extend it into Maho.
So that's all we went to Rosunov. Let's go back to the telephone. Good evening to you, caller. You're live. Thanks for holding on.
Boy, fire hot tonight. The fireman up and running. Like me, there's something them members and members. Boy, Boston, no, it has to get hot, because relatively say two fingers like that. That's in my heart. But they telling me now, European closed the door on us, and the slave masters closed the door on us. And you're talking about as Rasta man. America first. Let me tell you something. Get yourself straight. You remember saying you're Rasta, what kind of Rasta you be? Even though you're history,
that's not why I defend independence. Listen to me, listen,
Rasta man, listen. I'm not trying to talk about 20 or more years in government. And get it straight. 3 o'clock we can come in that country, no. Living to come and marry, got to come Roseau. Roseau, you sick in Rasta. Right? No, get it straight. First time in our life, we have a youth man, West Indies, captain in West Indies youth team, you know, which means sports developing. As Brother Brent say about the education department, is a fact. Rasta man, can you know for a fact that under government, anybody in that country, rich, poor, who have nothing, that don't want to have a good education today, under that government, is there don't want it. Get it straight. Not for a fact. Right? In health also, my Lord, get it straight in health. You can see for a fact, Rastaman, our health system is plenty better than when it was before. And I already talking about how development. But before in the country, it is not so much people have education in the rural areas. Then that education is just planting, is just food and thing, you know, for a fact. Let's get it straight. Under that government, right now it does that again. Most everyone in the country is doctor, lawyer, know everything, so they don't to be in the bush again. Let's get it right. Right? Now the country itself, what's the country right now? It does no country right now. All country even they can like tongue now, you know, stand. Get yourself straight to the Rastaman. Right? So you're telling me now after all what Europeans do to us, but now we just get an international stadium, Rasta. Under England it was it, and you talking like that? Boy, hey, don't make my pressure go up, man. Stop that. After all what these people do for you, telling me about these people because they don't understand that this people is in that condition today. Not that's why I'm telling you, I cannot go and vote for you, Rastaman, as the opposition, because I think it's a serious problem. You might have good ideas, yes, but to vote for is a waste of time. Because why? You're not talking because you're outside. Even inside, you can do nothing, Rastaman. Let's get it right. Which I cannot get it right.
But how would you know if you don't willing to give me a chance? How would you know what impact I'll have if you don't willing to give me a chance?
You cannot do anything, Tano.
But you're still telling me to come on board with the Labour candidate and force to get it done.
I know for a fact, you cannot host money to do nothing in the community, number one. Right? You have no contact nowhere. Get it straight. Right? You don't say you're not government to say, well, it's your government that you know. And it doesn't say your government that you know.
You see, but I have a problem what you're saying. So it's not my government. So who government? So the government have to operate. So that's the problem with Dominica. So the government is Labour Party people government and not Dominica government. So you're talking too much nonsense.
Listen to me, Rastaman.
But you tell me not my government. What you say, you know? I said Dominica, so not my government.
To me, my Lord.
So you see the attitude the people in the administration make it all you just supporters have. You say so the government is for half of the country.
No.
But that you just said here is not your government done to what that means. But what does that mean, Cecil?
Listen to what I said to you, Rastaman. Youtan is not in government. How I can go and vote for after all that problem we have there? Oh, the government belongs to everybody in the country. But I reckon you know, you as an opposition person, you cannot bring nothing in the constituency. You have no way you can host some money to do any project in the constituency.
I don't know what that means, so you know what that means. You know what that means? You have to get another time to explain that to me. You have to get another chance to explain that to me. I don't know what you say there. I don't know where you get.
I send to you, you is an opposition politician, right? You are not in the government. Any project you want to do, it can't be by talking, it can be by action partner. You cannot host any money to create no project in the constituency.
So I'm telling you, the government have been there with all their money and we have been lacking in roads enough. But it says so, but go to the telephone and somebody is called.
But so long
the government get all their money, nothing no impacted in roads enough. You want to come and talk against that, but you are against roads enough people, man. I talking for roads enough. You telling me about I don't have money. Fine, they have the money. I don't hear any shouting out to them to do it, says so. Zoom, they have the money, they have it. You know they have you saying it. They don't have the money, say so. You say it with your mouth. And you still saying
both of you all, I allow
you saying that. But for the young lady, she'll make them do it. When Kennedy don't do it.
That's why you're going to get asthma. That's why you're going to get asthma because why? She in the government, and that's why you're going to things happening in the constituency already. Get it straight, my lord.
That's so unfair. That's so unfair and biased of you to say that.
Fireman.
No way you can do.
Fireman. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, get it real, my lord. There's no way you can get it real. I'm not joking. I'm going to bring a joke. I'm not serious thing.
Thank you.
I love the joke. I'm going to do, Rasta man. Bless up.
Thank you.
All right. That's something else.
I tell you.
But that is something else, boy.
Let's go back to the telephone. Good evening to you, caller. Good evening to you, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. All right. Well, first of all, let me just say thank you, Cecil, all the time. Thank you, Brain.
Thank you,
man. I know him as, you know.
Yes, I Rastafari.
I want bless up yourself. First of all, you know, I don't want you to get discouraged from any feedback you get in.
No, man, that never happened. No, man. I'll be
He's back, bro, man. You can
I'll be discouraged, man. Thank you for that.
You know what I mean? Hold your strength. And it's an example, you know, we seen you, and I seen tonight, you know, of issue we have in Dominica, and the issue that we have of how we are receptive to different and to change, you know. I had an educated person tell me, why is this person running for office? They have locks. That's the running for Freedom Party. He had locks. Remember, he had locks. I don't remember his name.
President.
He said to him, why is this guy running for office? He have locks. I say, in this modern day and age, that is how you're thinking, you know. But I just call, I listen in to big up, you know, Cecil and Brain, what are you doing? You know, it's are you creating stories and unique, keep it going, you know. I mean, what are you doing there is positive. Shaman, big up yourself. Stay focused, my brother. Don't let them, you know, don't let them make you fear or nothing, you know. Whoever calls support, that's them. They have their support, but you will get your support, my brother, because it's good over evil all the time, you know, and judgment. So keep going. Thank you for the program, you know, and focus on the positive and the work you're going to be doing and stuff, you check, because and the change you're going to bring. What they haven't done, you think what you're talking about, whatever hasn't been done yet and stuff that you plan to build and whatnot. Yeah, blessed love all the time. Cecil and Mr. Brain, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give thanks, caller. Give thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate the words of courage, my brother.
Good evening.
It'll go a long way.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. What I find the level of discussion tonight, it's not good. Because I say that to say that everybody has the democratic right to voice their opinion. Mm-hmm. And if a man is saying something, that Boston fella, you shouldn't tell him get out from the radio because it's not your radio station. It's a national thing.
Seriously, my Lakou, I like a lot of beef, my brother. But you come and fire all your sinners, my brother. You fire all your thing, my brother. Now when I talk, you want to tell me the level of discussion. Like seriously, Lakou, let's get serious if we talk about something serious, my brother.
Calling somebody monkey. You end up calling somebody monkey, and Mr. Cecil Joseph had to tell you stop it. So your arrogancy, I said that not
arrogancy, thank you. I apologize for that. But we are the Lakou. I slip on the tongue and I apologize.
I slip right, so let the man talk. And if I talk in what I know, what is the truth, you should not have me. My name is Mr. Germain, my friend. Okay? Brother Germain is my uncle. I elaborate on Brother Germain.
Yeah, boy.
How he was a very good man.
Very good man.
Brother Germain is my uncle. So
that doesn't mean you're a good man, but your uncle was a good man.
Yes, whenever I was
a good man, I appreciate that. Not because your uncle doesn't mean you're a good man. And if your uncle is a bad man, that doesn't mean automatically he's a bad man. So, but one love, my brother.
My name is Franklin Germain.
Okay, Franklin Germain. So nice to meet you, sir.
I addressing you as Mr. Boston.
Caller, do you have any question for the guest?
What did you say, sir?
Do you have any question for our guest? Because there are other persons that I would like to take the calls.
Yes, but I find Mr. Boston, he's that kind of arrogance.
He apologized.
Mr. Jimin, I apologize if I offended anybody, and if I offend you, Mr. Jimin, I am sincerely sorry.
Call me my name.
Mr.
Okay.
Jimin.
He has said that. He has said that call. Okay,
not good then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
All right, thank you.
very
Yes,
much.
yeah, all right. What a program tonight. What a fiery program tonight. The Lakou program in the past, we have
you're
just...
taking licks and you're giving licks.
We have just... You see,
I try my best.
just introducing people to have the say. Sometimes it creates that. Let's go to the telephone again. Good evening to you, caller. You're live.
Good evening, good night. It's night time. I just want to say last week, the show was so educated, so compassionate, so fulfilling. What else? So innovative. You learned and you got and you received. Miss McDougall was everything. One person. I'm not talking politics. She said what she wanted to do. She expressed her thoughts. She gave what she have to bring out to the public, to the people, to improve the communities that she may be representing. Tonight, I representing people of the ghetto. We are not in the ghetto no more. The ghetto days have died. Everybody wants to be educated. Everybody wants to learn. Everybody wants to grow. What are we going to do to make those changes? This is what the people want to hear. Not telling them that you're representing the ghetto. Fokole is not a ghetto no more. When I was growing up and you passed Fokole, it was like little slums. Fokole is, what I would say, a community of growth. It has become. That's what we want to hear. I'm not talking politics. We just want to see what the people that are going up to represent the people are bringing to the table. Their education, their thoughts, their gifts, their innovations. And let's see that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much, caller.
I guess when the young lady was there, we had more nice questions for her, nicer comments, because you're saying that I come in out talking about the ghetto and whatever it is, but I apologize if you get offended by that. But still you can listen to the callers and how they come in on at me too. So if you think I get in the kind of way, every action deserves a reaction, and not every time somebody can stay like a mellow milk, you know. So but anyway, I apologize if I think nothing offended you or anybody outside there. I sorry.
Good evening to you, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Boston, how are you?
Well, I tried my best, sir.
Come.
Yes. Mr. Boston, I would like to ask you a question.
Yes,
how
sir.
confident are you between the three of you all going up in this by-election? And I would like to ask you that if you would pull through that you win this by-election, what are the plans that you have for the constituency to see that this constituency go forward and more than it is? That's the question I would like to ask. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Sue. They call you Kokom. I want to be because a gentleman. I don't offend I call my nickname. But honest to tell you, I looking at that question as a trap, because when I look at Mr. Luge's presentation, he presented something nice ideas. Okay, I can see these ideas coming to fruition, and then the naysayers say, but where you can get the money? So when you go and ask me that question there, I will be there to strengthen the voice for the Dominican people, the rural zone of people. I will advocate for things we need in the constituency, things that will empower us, and advocate for this government for programs that will empower people from rural zone north and empower Dominicans. And I will advocate, sir, I'll be there with the opposition. I'll bring a unity to the independent opposition we have existing. We outcast, we forget about them. Like we just going on our life and waiting for the next election when we have a functioning government with a functioning opposition, and like the political parties just come and like we just sidetrack them. We sidetrack certain decisions made by Dominicans, because the Salisbury people voted for Miss Jesma Paul and Marigold people voted for Mr. Anthony Charles, and it's like right now is like we forget them, like they just a phase. Let us wait until next election. Like in next election we'll have something again, which is not true. Okay, we have these people there in the opposition. We need to unify them. They need to be unified in purpose for direction. Okay, we have an opportunity created there for us to elevate our people's sense of politics. Okay, because independence always exists. Independence exists as a sort of unification for our country. We are not to outright because of our political preference just throw it out the door because it doesn't entwine with our political views. But we have to create that level of outside of the tribalism for people that want to engage in the development of their country but do not want to be someone into the hatred.
Someone's on the line. Good evening to you, caller.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, you're live.
Yeah, I'm calling from Massachusetts. The only thing I have to say is the guy that's on your program tonight, he needs to let somebody talk. Let them finish, say what they are saying, and then address the person after they're done talking. Stop talking over people. It makes it so unprofessional. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, caller.
Seriously, sir, I think that statement was kind of unwarranted and unfair because what was happening a while ago, people was coming and make their slurs at me, and then by the time they hang up, the host was going to the next call and to the next call. So I'm not allowing nobody to load things on my back.
That's not totally accurate.
And sir, I hope you said to Mr. Jody because look, he's talking over me right now.
That's not totally accurate.
Mr. Jody is talking over me right now. So at what point are you going to get a chance to address the listening ear?
That's not totally accurate.
Look at it from an independent perspective. Don't just come and try and so that at me because you see I've been attacked there viciously and I have to have a chance to defend myself. But if I offend you, sir, I'm still sorry.
Good evening to you, caller. You're live.
Cecil, good night.
Good night.
Cecil, first of all, I do agree with the first caller, but Mr. Boston have a lot of points that he has to push. And we don't allow people to just take a ride in the justice. But he said something else, get back on the land where he had his business. You know what he said? When he was getting blows for it from the callers who know him one-on-one, all the time he had stayed right in the Labour Party was there among all of us. He said, including you, Cecil, was telling him great ideas. These guys in St. Thomas who live up there, I know him very well. And the one that called himself Fireman and all of them and the other one from Sarah Street, giving him blows because he on the other side, which is not UWP, he's an independent man. All the time he's there. If you see he was on the red side setting, nobody wouldn't tell him anything. And he's correct, you know. He's totally right. The blows are falling on him because of that piece of land and here he have it. It was significant, it was good. Oh, great idea, man. He has to get a thing done. No, you're hearing a man calling over and over, he called himself Fireman, trying to put some blows on the man that is not even making much sense to me. Serious. And in terms of he talking over people, sometimes, you know, the thing that I little hot. But I think I would excuse him for that. Mr. Boston, you are dead right, and I think there's a little a little mistake in you now and then. But I believe you on the right track. Take care of yourself, brother man, and good night.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
In reference to what my good friend just said, Boston and myself have not had any kind of discussion in terms of preference of government and preference of ideas. Boston knows that very well. We did once upon a time was on the same group, same political organization, and we worked together. That's what we know ourselves doing. But to say that in terms of discussion that I would have had if the gentleman, that's not accurate. Good evening to you, caller. You're live.
Good evening.
Said he get a chance to talk there.
No, but someone calls. Good evening.
Good evening to the panel.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to Mr. Boston. And
good evening, sir.
This is the right side for you right now. Keep your trust in Mr. Boston and vote for Mr. Boston. Good evening, people.
Thank you very much,
you have
caller.
a person in your corner, man.
I have another caller. Good evening to you, caller.
Good evening, caller.
Okay, go ahead, Shaman, because I'm
Cecil, you Cecil, And this says so online, Cecil.
Mhm.
So you say we never had discussions and then we had the same views and you thought like, boy, you have intelligent ideas and things. We never had that.
I am very clear. I said that when we supported the same political party, we discussed issues, but not issues that presently speaking of. We have never spoken of issues that presently speaking of. I've never spoken to you about the. I've never heard that until now in reference to the building where your business is. I've never really heard this. I've never made these things my concern. So I cannot. I said I've never had that conversation with you before.
No. I don't say you never heard it. You say you never heard it.
No, I never heard it before.
That's unfair.
No, but that's
Okay,
that.
no
You see, why would you earlier on say that is your opinion, and I cannot tell you what my view is, and I'm telling the truth that I've never heard this before. I first heard that last week, and when the individual called, I said to the individual that I would appreciate that when Mr. Boston comes, that you ask him the question. I was very clear about that.
But Cecil, okay, I can agree with you on that. What you say, I don't want to challenge you on that. But your callers on them, politics are there.
That's different.
That is politics, and that have been on the political forefront for campaigns and campaigns and campaigns. So I don't know. You saying you have never heard that, Cecil,
Never.
that song like a fishy.
Well,
but anyway,
that's you
I
say
can respect that. I can respect that.
Good evening to you, caller.
Okay, Mr. Boston, I would like to ask you one last question because I realize we are closing.
Yeah, we're closing, close.
If you go through this by-election, and soon I believe there will be a general election. Now we have three political parties in Dominica. Now we have the Labour, the UWP, and the new one, which is
UPP.
No, it's four. You are not counting TUD.
I'm not counting Freedom Party.
You are counting TUD.
So if like to say that we would have a merge, like we would have a coalition government.
Right.
And if you win, which political party you would really support?
I try to understand. But you say we have three parties, so you say which will I support? But I will support Dominica. I just will always support Dominica above political party, our political differences. I will support any policy that's going to bring Dominica forward. I will support policies that are going to empower the citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica and to advance Dominica. So I hope that answers your question, sir.
Okay, and let me ask you one last question. I know that you are a very strong Labourite. I cannot deny that. And anyone who deny that would be making injustice to you. Can you just give us one of the reasons why you fall away from the Labour Party?
Because I think that depriving the people of the opportunities at that level I am there, I think it is being done purposely. Before I was aware of it, and as I said, I thought it could have been a mistake. Man can make a mistake. But after all that years and they keep on recycling and me looking at the situation of inside and outside, I see this purposely because I know of Labourites that are very conscious and want things done better. And when you see it come to the administration and implementation of certain things, they will be left out. And I know of those that all they seeing is their party and they like vicious vipers. They will be the one being empowered, and you can see it. I have seen that even within Labour Party, if you come as an outsider, you will be embraced more than Labourites. And if you don't realize, for the past how much election cycles, the Labour Party has always saying to Rosanov that the Labour Party entity doesn't encompass some person within the Labour Party to represent Rosanov. That says a lot. Thank you.
As we come to the end of the program, someone says, Mr. Cecil Joseph, please tell Mr. Boston I want to congratulate him for making a conscious call. I do not know what that actually means, but just the person said that I should read it, so I just read it for you. So as we now come to the end of another program of the Lakou, tonight it was somewhat totally different in terms of the heightening awareness of Boston's ideology and beliefs. I just want to say thank you very much, Boston. Your last words.
Yeah, so to the listeners, I mean, I know it's Kyrie FM and I know it's the supporters, so majority listeners will be against me. We have independent people.
That's DBS.
Sorry, I apologize.
DBS.
I apologize. I write in the nation station here and saying the wrong terminology. But I just get in a sense of the feeling that it kind of swaying to one side. I mean, that's politics, that's how it is. Radio station usually think about the DBS. But I appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Adams, the Brains, and Cecil, Dominicans listening here and abroad. I mean, we have had political parties in the past. We have had great leaders risen up from independent candidacy, and I'll make reference to Mr. Ruthie Douglas. He's faced introduction into politics, and you can make your research what as an independent candidate. And I want us to open our minds because it began in 2022, independent candidacy, where people can voice their opinion and not really, be engaged in the tribalism. We need to unify as a country, unify with purpose. We need a lot of things in the country. We have a lot of problems here. And some of us are trying to make others believe that no, we have no problem, everything nice and dandy. But together, we can bring that country to something. Together, we can take these sour grapes and ferment them and make a nice wine. Okay? So think about that. Let me that with you tonight. There, Shaman Boston for Rosenhoff. I will go into the parliament. I'll go to represent the people. I will go to advocate on behalf of the people. I cannot promise you to build nothing, no seaport, no big building, no nothing. But I can guarantee you will get a different advocacy within the House of Bongs of the Parliament for the people of Dominica. Because in my time in politics, I haven't really seen people there advocating for Dominicans and for empowering Dominicans. People might have different views on what I say in there because their political preference, because they think one is Labour talk for them, and when it's workers talk for them, freedom talk for them. But we need to see people advocating for Dominican as a society, as one people, and that I can promise you, we need to bring that into the race. Thank you, and have a lovely evening.
Adams?
It was a beautiful discussion. It would not be the same as we had before. I mean, when you have independent candidates, blows will fall. Blows did fall. You did fire back. I did appreciate the discussion that we had, and I must say that it was very unique. And let me say, you took the courage to come here as an independent candidate to give your point of view, and much appreciated. I'm looking forward that the other candidate, we still have the branch open to him. I would guess so, that he would have the courage to come and be like you, and you defend your title no matter what. It was a pleasure having you.
I don't want Adams to use the word courage to make anyone think that DBS Radio is a lion's den. We are about open discussion, and that's right. What we did here tonight.
That's right.
And many people would say, as Boston said earlier on, that he came from the Labour Party, and some persons might ask the question, if you came from the Labour Party, what happened that you changed? Did you get enough? Or did you not get enough? I read quite a lot of that on the social media. But bit what it is, Boston, I want to thank you for coming in at a very short request. You did not have all of the luxury to go and prepare or prep yourself for tonight. I must say that I'm encouraged by the fact that you were able to have the discussion with us, and we will see what the result brings when the date of the by-election is given and when people go out to vote for the candidate of their choice. So once again, I want to thank you very much for coming, and all the best. Okay, as we come to the end of this program, another wonderful program of the Lakou. Tonight was, as you saw, was kind of tonight and last Sunday night was a little bit different, where we said that we're going to give the opportunity to all of the candidates. Again, I will send the olive branch to Mr. Danny Luge to see if he again would come on board to give his views and what he sees that as a candidate, prospective candidate for the constituency of Rosenhoff, and how he can play a role in the whole development of Dominica. So once again, I want to say thank you, and to all our viewers on the social media, to include that of Facebook and YouTube. I want to thank you so very much for your interaction. It was really heavy tonight, and I just want to say to people that we are not here to criticize the other. We are here to get information. So once again, I want to thank you, and God bless you as we continue as a national radio station to bring to you the kind of information that you require to know. God bless you, and have a nice night.
Massive attack. We're all set to go. But when the allies ask to call it off, you got to sort of say, well, let's see. And the reason they asked is I think there's a deal. There's a deal on Hormuz, and then there will be a deal on the nuclear